Good aggressive swing, but just too long as no touch. And it goes over to Santarelli. They say, no, don't challenge that. That's my fault. This national squad that Santarelli has inherited. There's a lot of interest at home. Support for this women's team. Great pickup. It's drifted out wide for Vargas. Snap by the captain. Well, she's picking up every free ball and dispatching it beautifully.
And this all starts with a lovely pickup from Oregon right behind this block. Really nice reach out to pick it up. And then the cover off the block. That one actually coming through from the setter, Ajbai. And she just pops it up. And Erdem says, thank you very much. Hammers it away. Vargas still not quite finding her rhythm from the baseline. We know she can be absolutely lethal on the serve. No stranger to a few aces in a match.
China leading 15-14. They give the point back though. 11 at the 15-15 here.
And I think in set one, it's just going to be a matter of who breaks first. Either of these teams going full throttle at the moment. They're both just trying to hold on. But one of these teams has to break away sooner rather than later.
Paladin's been a member of the squad since 2017 in this national squad. Very important cog in this machine, as is Ju Ting.
Yeah, I'm live.
The game, ricocheting that ball off the block and get the point back for China. 16-15.
Got the volleyball on right now. Quarter-final.
Just about getting there halfway through set one.
No, it's a stream. I just got up, I'm having my breakfast, and I've walked the
It is
dog.
almost a captain's performance here. She has driven her team on that front line.
In Turkey at the moment,
How are you
12
today?
of 31 attacks going down. China's slightly more efficient, but Turkey with more attempts. And there's a chance of Turkey starting to ring out in South Paris Arena.
Swivering that ball.
Good pressure
With
serve.
intent.
It's tight. Olkulic is called for drifting into the block territory. And the setter is keeping him on her side. Kulic has a quick look at the referee.
And this is a really difficult rule because it's that line of the net that goes really parallel up from the tape and up as far as you can see. And if the center's trying to set it and you go into that space, you're going to be called on it. Free point for the other team. You have to be very disciplined as a middle blocker.
The referee's watching the hands of their setter to see which way direction the ball's going to go. Carricker, well, she's always celebrating with 4 points dead. Trying to keep it alive here. They go again. Carricker, second one is the block. Flat set, left hand down the line. It's out off Santarelli's.
17 all.
Salsa dancing down the side, isn't he?
Well, Happy Valley is a good one.
He's entertaining to watch on the sideline. It's this from Lee. Ooh.
Ooh.
I think that's in, but I think it's the net.
Be
touch
warned,
that
it's very
that was a
extreme.
lovely swing, but it's the follow through that.
Very full on, but very good.
Nice idea from China, bringing the left hand in the court.
Lee, Happy Valley.
Sometimes just simple.
Oh, who's
volleyball,
playing?
Volleyball. Set up your big hitter. Nice and high up for Lee. Gives her tons of time.
China and Turkey in the women's volleyball.
18-17 then. We knew we were in for a close battle. This one's tight for Vargas. She's got to use it.
No, it's through and Fiverr.
I'm tight.
Also, if you can find it, Life on Mars is a really good BBC show.
Hustle from Tadier and his point for China. Great work.
That is excellent work from China. And finally, not since the very beginning of this match have we had a team up by 2. But it's China now 19-17. And that is some scramble from Turkey. Big swings coming through from China.
No serve coming in from Yao Linu, the setter. It's drifted into the net. Sets it back forward again.
And we talk about discipline. China were excellent on that slight overpass, not putting too much on it at all. Wang just barely putting fingertips up to redirect it back down, and Turkey are going to call the first timeout of the match as China are up 2017.
Never with a scrum of defense from the block, it's good to anticipate. But here we know we know on the left side. The position we know, don't go to that in defense.
Oh, the Turkey coach is quite a character. Because I watched one of their previous matches.
Talking to the starting lineup and the subs. The assistant coaches chatting with individual players about
Pretty
things that are
intense.
happening in the game. Everybody knows, he's talking a lot about where Li Yingying is coming to attack with that left hand. They know where they want to defend on it. Yao Linu to serve, a setter. Like the team that won the Asian Games gold medal last year. Now, driving that serve down the line. Vargas, one-on-one.
That is nice and steep from Vargas. She's finding a really sharp angle on this swing. Again, getting nice and high, getting that thumb up high as well to really, really cut it. And that going to the right of Gong, who got her foot on the attack line and everything. That's exactly where you're meant to be as a defender, but just too good from Vargas.
Okay, opted for the float serve. Nice flat set. Really well put away by Gong. Credit to the set.
Well, Gong gives it right back, and it's a lovely take just to the outside of the block, but the inside of the libero, and that is an impossible shot to dig. We'll get a substitution from Turkey as well. Harikert coming off and Deacon coming on.
Digs that one out. Ace serve for China.
What a time for an ace. This puts China up 22-18 in set one. And another substitute from Turkey. Ilkin Aydin coming on to court now. Turkey just trying to change things up. Their serve receive has not been the best so far. But China bring the heat from the baseline.
Two outside hitters change. They look to bring this defense in. They're down by 4. Vargas. They're down by 3 now. Vargas gets the point.
And it sounds so simple to say, but this is all Turkey need. It's just a pass into the hands of Ojbay. If they can find their setter and she can open up that attack, you have Vargas through that right-hand side. China haven't really been able to shut her down.
No, not yet. That's on the 8th.
Gunesh with a close serve. Quick attack in the middle. Gunesh is there. Scrambled over. Second time. Well, that was a severe snap of the wrist. That was sent a message across.
Yeah, that first one, a really nice pickup from Gunesh. But you got to expect that she won't be able to do that twice, especially with a middle attack that lethal from Wang. That is so good.
They certainly enjoyed it. Quite rightly so. Second time out called. China leading 23-19.
Remember what I told you? Don't open this.
Let's talk about the positions. The Princess game plan. About the positions they want to hold.
Well, there's no set time. It varies depending on the events, and
So from a defensive point of view,
some are obviously longer than others.
where they need to be. Santarelli and his support staff spent hours and hours standing and prepping, looking to see exactly
Yeah, I agree. They are an
how their
underrated
opposition are going
channel.
to attack, where they're going to go.
Like, obviously, a game of volleyball. Sorry, not volleyball, badminton. The average game of badminton is pretty short.
It's a bit of a scramble of defense there from China.
Whereas other games, you know,
The issue for China is they
of other things can.
Zhang Qingding coming on with the
Basketball
serve. It
can
just changes up the
go on
defense as
quite
well,
long
so really
just
get that
because
really
you've
nice
got
first touch.
timeouts
There's
or
miscommunication of who's
they
going to
stop
take that
every
second
time
ball.
there's a foul or
Turkey
play.
getting in some more subs as well. Ajbay taking a seat and Saheem coming into set.
So it varies.
Well taken on the serve, received. Shooting a very deliberate, high into the hands, back out of the play. Set point.
I think China are slight favourites in this.
China came out in this game, all guns blazing, 4-1 lead. Now they've got a 4-point lead again at the back end.
24-20 so far. Set point.
On two. Smart play. Just come on. Shaheen secures a point and the set point saved. Turkey. Out wide.
It's tempting to go on the surfing, but I think I'll catch up with the surfing later on.
Goes again, but again on the 3 meter line, she's got to make something from it. She can't. From the back line, Vargas, she can. It's a second set point save.
Good hit.
And Vargas hammering this one off the block of Yuan Jinyu. Really nice approach through the back of the right-hand side, and it's China's turn to call a timeout. They're leading 24-22 in set one.
Right in, get this message across. All they need is one side out. 22-24. 2 set points saved. Third set point for China. Another stab on the pass from Li Yingying. No attack offered from China. Vargas comes again. Well, if you don't attack them, they're going to come back at you.
And China have to be very careful. That was their third attempt to take the first set. And yes, this is 25, but a team has to be 2 points clear. So this is China's last attempt to take it before we go past 25.
And it's given away. A service error by Ilkin. China take it.
Back in a minute.
They do take the first set, 25-23.
Well, strong showing from both teams, but it's the People's Republic of China taking set one at 25-23 over Turkey. In this match, best of 5. And no need for the complex math anymore. You lose, you're out. You win, you're in. And here's a look at the stats from set one. Turkey getting off far more swings, 9 more swings than China, but China being way more efficient with just 3 fewer going down than Turkey. And really big blocks for China. Turkey not quite able to get into the blocking game, but they do have their digs nice and high, which is always good. But it was China able to close out really back and forth so far in this match. Turkey looking to tie things up in set 2.
I'll just have a look. Oh yeah, it's on the side, yeah.
Let's look at the centre contact then for China here. 38% outside of the effectively target zone. A little bit lower than what they would like. It's made life a little bit harder for Diao Linyu. When it has been on the money, they've been able to bring the middles into play. Much better cluster for Zagier. 56 in the prime zone, then 22. And then Vargas is on double figures in the game so far. 10 points for her. But then it's the next one is Erdem on 4, and that was fairly early on the game. Leading in with 5 points, Juting on 5, and Wang on 4 points. Very heavily weighted towards Vargas, which we kind of expected to happen in the outside position. Karika, very quiet. They've moved into the outside position to try and get the two big offensive battles going, but only 1 point for Karika. Can she start this second set well? She starts off with a serve down the line. Reverse comes in, angle between Karika and Ojbe.
Cameo from Willow.
A lovely start from Gong, and I think the facial expression of
Oh, he
really,
looks
really
in
set it
pain.
up for Turkey.
I'll take that one. It's a drift of the serve. Gudish, back to serve. Left feet very heavily strapped. Overpass. Well, the captain, second highest point score, she moves to 5. She's had 3.
So China are set up now.
She's done well to take advantage of every single one.
Lovely touch, a nice read.
Oh, kept it alive.
Vargas down the line. Great block in the
Good
end.
block.
It is Vargas, but alongside her, the captain, holding that position firm against Juting. The hands weren't fully pressed there, were they? But they did the job. What's a dream start here for Zagier? Exactly the same score as the first set for China, 4-1. And China call for a timeout. Vargas just gets some instructions from the assistant coach. Gudish waiting. The Turkish subs do the can alongside with our MC Dave Rogers.
That's a good way to keep the legs warm.
Big block again, well formed again, Juting. Smart play off the hands, recycle for China. Put back out to the right. An angle attack coming in, caught in trouble.
Yeah, China looking in dire straits earlier in this point. They
Subs
were able
doing
to come
the
away with
can-can, I
something
love it.
special as Gong made her way through that block. Turkey just not quite sealing off the block in between the two blockers at the moment.
Paladin, high and hard.
Paladin doing very well to knock that one off the block. She's finding a lot of success when she's going for those high contacts and just going off the palms of the block.
Also great first touch, just a little bit drifting. What was there? China reaching over though.
Yeah, we saw this the opposite way in set one, where Turkey were called for reaching when that set was trying to go. But that one ruled that the ball was actually over the net when Diao was making contact with it, and she kind of pulled it back from Turkey's side. So 3 points to Turkey.
The free swing away from Erdem, how dare they? Off the hands, great take. Flying with that left arm up, Vargas. Out. But it goes to Erge again.
This is a very different look in set two than set one. Set one, we were point for point. Turkey falling apart at the end, couldn't quite get in it. This is the Turkey that we're used to seeing.
Turkey.
And finally, Vargas opening up her shoulder, these swings coming in fast and hard from the team in white, and they're up by 5 points early on.
Vargas unloads. She's getting warmer and warmer on that service line. Oh, it's like for like again. Erge set and then blocked, but Vargas does get blocked.
And that set really far forward, so Vargas had to really reach and stretch to contact this ball. So even though the lovely pickup from Orga to bring us back, Vargas didn't quite have any angle to work with, reaching too far to make that cross-court swing work.
Wang Zhangyu fires it long. Well, trying to get in the point back, but he's giving it away. And the Paladin, 26-year-old. And for volleyball for Tesfati.
Is he only 26? Looks a bit older to me.
Right, okay, again, great work defensively. This ball's come straight back over from Li Yingying.
Oh.
Now Turkey are chasing. And the point has gone away for China. 4 touches.
China doing really well to come away with that one after a long rally. We're looking a little bit worse for wear after some excellent defending, but China still chasing by 4 points early on. And Turkey looking very well within their rut of what they're used to.
Vargas unloading from the back line to the centre. That pipe attack. Leaning in. Not wide. Karaka, well, she can't get the attack on there. It's just a volley over, free ball. And then inside comes Li Yingying. This is where China can call trouble when she comes inside.
Yeah, she's done this before to Turkey. She likes to go for that really, really sharp cross, even when the set is inside. Whether it's to find the shot or just to knock off hands, it doesn't matter, but it's working for her. And now China just 3 points back.
Good pressure serve. Paladin gets herself back into defensive position as the free ball comes over from China. Karakurt off tempo. Is it up? No, it's gone down. Only the second point for Karakurt in this game.
Yeah, she's been much more quiet than what we're used to. She was struggling a little bit in the serve receive and took a break on the bench in set one. She's back, and it's actually those little off-speed clever tips that are scoring her points at the moment.
Captain with a serve. Paladin on the defense. Vargas comes in with a swing down the line. Brilliant defense from China. But the
Whoa.
just is too wide.
That was an excellent pickup from Wang down the line, but it was fired off into the score table, and Diao, who was coming into the heart of court to try and help out, had to turn and chase over her shoulder. That's a really difficult one to take. China call a timeout. Turkey up 10-5 in set two.
No, I don't think so, Camille. Nothing special.
Well, it's party atmosphere here at the South Pass Arena. This is the women's quarter-final action.
The fans having a lot of fun.
8 teams.
Should be talking to Rachel later on Skype.
The captain, just for that, keeps her hand
Be
nice
good
and
to
high,
have a
just
catch
puts
up.
this over from Joanne Chinue.
Quite a few, Camille.
Baladin thought
I've
she
seen a
had
mix
this.
of
This is
sport.
a really good take from Gao to keep it on their side. But Baladin just making contact with that as it strikes
Seen
the floor.
some handball, seen some diving, some swimming,
From the deficit of 5.
some hockey,
They're chasing,
some volleyball, some beach volleyball,
inside the left
little
hand.
bit of shooting.
It's wide. Santarelli celebrates
Saw a
like
football
just
match.
the winning point of the Olympic Games, but this is just one more point, one step closer for them.
Lee just getting her thumb down a little bit too hard on this. Again, she's pushing those lines, but also has to sneak it past the block. And if that set is just an inch too far inside,
Someday, Camille, yeah, I'm sure. I don't think I haven't seen any gymnastics yet. But I'll probably catch up on some of that. I can catch up on
There's a
replay.
very, very small piece right above the tape that if you can hit off it perfectly,
I know
you'll actually
Simone
hit off
Biles
the lower
won another
tricep of
gold,
the block and go straight down onto their side.
which is
Very
good.
few people do that on purpose, though.
Big tackle in the middle. Good extra, not her cleanest, but it's a big point nonetheless.
Turkey able to access their middle a little bit more in set 2. And again, possibly a miss swing, but if Fish doesn't know where it's going, neither does the China defender. So it works for the best for Turkey.
Wants to see the Spice Girls.
Turkey back up to 5 points ahead.
Down the line on the serve. Wow.
She's told that story on before, but wants to see the Spice Girls.
Snaps the wrist.
I mean, she did other stuff while she was here, but yeah, that was the reason they came.
Defense, but just needs that extra half step in because that is a quality contact.
Left hand float serve coming in from Li Ying.
No,
Watched by
never
Kevin
been.
Vargas.
One
Vargas
day.
cross court. Vargas point.
Vargas keeping the pressure on high. This time she goes for that really steep cross-court swing. Struck at 97 kilometers an hour.
Good hit from
Top
Vargas.
speeds here.
Shooting. Nice pull back by Carricker. Little tip in the middle by Baladin. Trying to come up with a tip. Out wide. It rattles through the block. The lead continues to grow. 14-8.
This is exceptional for Baladin as well. She somehow snuck this between the block.
Well, I
doing
think
her best to shut down that line.
you can tell that, Camilla, by our reviews and some of the history.
Well, great set. Pulling it away. Long puts it down.
That's a play that
But obviously, you know, we both like Mulholland Drive
opposite.
because we
Switching
were
the middle will run kind of a
glaring
slide
about
middle,
it in the
for
review.
middle for the opposite to strike. Absolutely love
And we
it.
both had it on our top 10 list.
Way out wide. Baladin holds a position. Well, there is going to be a challenge going in here for a touch.
We have some horror in common. Not all horrors. We have a few disagreements on horror, but
As well.
we do have some common ground on horror.
So challenge coming in for the block touch. So
I'm not sure who Fifth Harmony are, Camille, so I can't really answer that. I take it you mean the girl group by Little Mix.
good position at the moment.
Little Mix band.
Over as well, just to check on Andrew Oshbay, the 26-year-old setter.
I don't think Little Mix are really my thing, Camille, especially not at my age.
in coming on to replace her. It looked like something from nothing, but it sometimes
Those are,
tends to be the Achilles or
What,
somewhere.
Fifth Harmony?
Yeah, those can be.
Yeah, I never heard of them come out.
And that one,
Maybe they're not that big
she's
over
done
here.
thousands of times.
She's in a lot of pain, so that's definitely something like Achilles. We'll go back with a challenge. Do wish her well. Try and find out what's happening there. And Turkey have to adapt now. They have got a purpose-built second setter. Shaheen, who's very good at her game as well. She needs to get up to speed.
Good
in this
block,
competition.
and they got a bit of the luck because it came back off the net. 11-14 to Turkey.
After their starting setter is injured.
Second set.
Back-to-back blocks, but it's kept alive by Karaka. Vargas squeezes it through.
Don't know.
Complaints going in from China to the referee.
Probably the normal Camille. I might have some plans at a later date in London, but
It's a bold play and I love
for
it.
now, just nothing special.
Vargas, big serve.
Oh, she slipped.
Tip over the block. The gap has been found.
That's really clever from Paladin, and almost no one from China moving to come get this short tip over top of the block. Gong trying to seal off that really nice cross court. And I think more than anything, Diao was just hoping that one was out wide.
Vargas, long on the serve. And push that ball deep down the centre. China down by 4, but leading by 1-0 in this women's quarterfinal match. Long with the serve. Great blocking from China.
And China, their blocking game, a really big factor of why they were successful in set 1. They got more than Turkey were able to get off, and that from Zhu Ting to put it away on the captain as well. Excellent momentum point for China.
That sets out wide. Paladin down the line. That's a nice swing. Good tempo set. Let's use the hands. Come over. See how they knew.
So volleyball is, well, I was going to say volleyball is similar to tennis, except they're using their hands. And there's teams.
Well, never a bad time for it, but this one just didn't drop at all. I think she thought maybe it was going to drop into her platform.
Tennis with a beach
nice
ball
and high in her chest,
or football with teams, in a way.
China with an opposite and setter switch. Ding Xia coming in as well as Zheng Yijin.
Holding down the line this time. Switch to the server. Zhu Ting. Has to defend now out wide with Karaka. And she's going for that off tempo. It's the off tempo ones that Karaka scored from today.
And how many times do we say it? If you're in the block, don't reach back. You have to trust that your defender's going to come through and get that short one. Karaka all smiles because she got away with that for sure.
They now lead by 19 points to 13.
Getting quite close to match point for Turkey.
Picked up by Ojay. And then a ricochet off the block by Vargas. Vargas moves to 15 points.
Vargas, after a somewhat quiet first set, doing much better in set 2. She's really got.
I haven't heard their names.
She's scoring from first.
They sound like American players.
And that's exactly the type of offense that Turkey are going to need to best China.
This is China and Turkey.
Now scored the top 2 Chinese players at the moment. So 15, Zhu Ting and Gong are just on 14 points combined. Paladin on 8 points. It's not all just one-way traffic.
Logan definitely sounds American.
China chasing the game, 6 points down in the second set. Shooting. Point stacked. Ashmate. Okay, a big block from China.
Talk about Carricker wearing her heart on her sleeve. She's lucky she doesn't get a little talking to for kicking that one wide after she's blocked.
Cheng's just come on that opposite position.
It's a good lead from Urga the Libero. Gonna have the best court awareness probably of anyone on court. It's always important to follow, but that one at her shoulder, she knows is sailing deep. Back to a 6-point lead for Turkey.
I don't know where this Turkey thing has come from.
Nicely played.
Never heard Turkey said like that before.
Soft touch, hustle back. They get a second swing. Falling away.
Almost like it represents the whole region.
I can't believe that Turkey got this first one back over
Turkey.
Vargas and Carricker taking it right off the floor. But it's China with the free ball to work with, and Lee hammers it home. She'll be aware there's no libero in that 5, and she's going after that middle who's defending.
And with the serve, out wide to Carricker, she unloads. Just gets a touch.
Oh.
Great defensive work.
Oh,
In the end, the third touch goes outside the antenna.
antenna.
Just 3 points required to level the game.
Turkey. I think they're saying Turkey.
Li Ying down the line. Smart play.
Either that or China.
You're going to have to go off the hands of Vargas because she is a wall through the middle, or through the right side rather. And there's a block sealing off the middle as well. And that's a really smart play from Lee to try and force that line.
Double switch comes back on for China. Diao back setting. She goes to serve.
China working their way back into this
Carricker takes it out wide
set.
to her left side.
Ooh.
The left hand of Li Ying is on fire now.
That one possibly making it through the block of Vargas and Gunesh. They are
The
not
fans
able
are
to
really
shut her
into
down,
this
only
one.
get right between them, and that goes into the shadow, which Paladin not expected to be able to defend because there shouldn't really be anything going through there at all. We'll have a substitution for Turkey. Malia Deacon coming on court for Carker.
Steady up the defensive work, the pass in. Goes straight on to Deacon. Hard. Help her team anymore there. Backward set over the net is what the referee is saying. The ball's flat and tight, drifting over. See the setter's hands. Playing it on the opposite side of the net. Well, Santarelli thinking he's won the point. He's trying to work out what's going on here. The referee has deemed that that ball was played on the Chinese side. And she's back court. It's a assist that he wants a timeout now. To stop this run of points. It's a timeout. China back in 3 points. There's the other matrix style camera. Show you the height and the angle and the gaps that these attackers have. China back within 3 points then here. We're going to close it even more. No mistake this time from Vargas. Pumped wide. Gone off the hands. Stretch back on the set for Vargas. She's gone cross court. And she's gone wide. Well, they just having to stare through.
Turkey were up quite a bit in this set. They were up by 5 points earlier on. And China looked all out of sorts, but they are well within striking distance coming to the end of set 2.
Oh, is it tripper? I guarantee she's not going to put her hand up and say sorry. At this level, it's sorry, not sorry.
You know what? We used to call it that. They throw over like a half-hearted apology. Now there's just no more apologies. These are just fair points at this time. And Turkey are going to call a second timeout. They're up 22-21 in set 2.
Another timeout. It's strategy. What time is it where you are, Camilla? If she's still there.
Well, let's come back from China. They were 6 down at 21-15. Now it's 21-22. Change has been made for both teams. China currently the stronger of the two. Last set in. Vargas. Great defense from China. Defense into offense. The ball just held up nicely on the net. Deakin scores her first point.
Definitely a key point for Turkey coming off that timeout. Because if that was tie game, that's a very different look to set 2. Now they've got 2 points to work with and 2 points to take the set, but they're still very much not out of the woods against China in set 2.
This one's in the net. It's ready again. Turns with finish to celebrate. It's set points. 3 of them.
Well, it's only fair. 1 for 1, trickling over the tape.
Huge celebration from Santarelli.
Set point for Turkey.
There it is.
They got it.
Who next for the shootout?
25-21. 1 set each.
Well, what a contest that is proving to be in the women's volleyball quarter-final. Turkey on the comeback. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave the volleyball there at this point, but do not worry. We will bring you the conclusion of this match a little later on here on Extra. But this is what else is coming up today across the BBC. Here on Extra, we'll shortly be heading to the
Hey, Rachel.
for the start of the
How are you?
athletics, including Laura Muir in the 15th
Morning.
first round.
Or is it evening? No, it must be evening over there.
Scott Grasham and Mayer will jump for medals in the equestrian jumping individual final. Harry Charles was also meant to be competing though, but he's been forced to withdraw
Germany,
as his
Greece.
horse Romeo 88 is not fit enough to compete. And then later
Poor Romeo.
on Extra, we are off to the Bercy Arena for the first of the men's basketball quarterfinals as Germany take on Greece. And today also sees
So the opposite end.
16-year-old
This is beautiful.
Sky Brown, skateboarder, Team GB.
Sky Brown, pressure's on.
Watch me compete this afternoon. Skating is about bravery, resilience.
So much.
Well, I was just watching the volleyball quarter final, but in typical BBC fashion, they cut away to another sport. And they're returning to it later.
And keep going.
There's a Sky Brown promo at the moment. Luckily, I've also got Discovery. Yeah, BBC do that a lot. I've also got Discovery, so I can pretty much see everything on there.
Don't miss her indeed. Sky Brown will hit the skateboard park from 1:15 on BBC One. Well, as promised though, we are heading to the Stade de France for a busy morning in the track and field. GB's Walcott, Nolan, Bell and Muir are all in action in the first event on the track. And of course, 1500 metres for Laura Muir. So your commentator here is Steve Cram.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. And it's
Okay, they've got some athletics on now.
Paris, Stade de France, filling up
So the plan is athletics.
packed house expected for this morning's
I am
session.
holding down
We
the
will be
fort,
beginning with
Camille.
those 1500-meter heats, all very exciting.
So athletics, a bit of skateboarding, and I'll catch up with the rest of the volleyball.
Final. Lots to look forward to today.
And at some point I'll have to walk the dog
Has dawned with Great Britain
and get some
a gold
shopping.
medal after Keely Hodgkinson's brilliant performance last night, which will have buoyed the rest of the team, I'm sure, including Laura.
I think your basketball team is good, Rachel. The Aussie basketball team.
I've got to stop saying of course. So when you start to notice, I'm looking at the rest of my commentary team here that you're saying something too much. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Andrew. Hello. Jazz.
Good morning.
Steve. Morning, Grammy. Colin. Good morning. Paula.
Both women and men, I think.
Correct. So that's good. Like the Waltons. Oh no, people are going to go on to the Waltons.
Night job, boy.
Yeah, see? Paula's old enough. It really interesting, Paula, a very quick question. Did you ever have to run a
Yeah, I
big final
wouldn't.
one night and then come back the next morning?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of
Always,
basketball as
yeah,
being a big
well, I think probably enjoyed
Aussie
that.
sport, but you seem to be pretty good at it,
Do this.
from what I've seen here.
Well, maybe even laying in bed last night, watching the race and thinking about the fact that her preparation is a lot smoother and easier. It's really tough because your adrenaline is firing, isn't it, after you've raced?
I'll see if I can get Willow on camera for you, Rachel.
It's really hard to wind
Willow.
down and get enough sleep and come back on the bus.
Willow.
And go through all of the
See if we can get another cameo.
Get out here on the floor. So even though it's a heat and it should be really easy, they have made it harder for themselves.
There you go. Come on, jump up. There you go.
As we watch, Steve, sorry, I should say I'll talk about Keith Hodgkinson last night. I mean, Rondo as well. Let's just have a quick word on.
Oh, naturally. Naturally.
Going for the world record and achieving it. Yeah, it was amazing, Steve. You know, and it was great to see the.
Yeah, I was saying this on to someone else. I quite like this year's, but it wasn't one of the best. I think I preferred Japan's, actually. She is beautiful and she knows it. And the UK one was very good, apart from Mr. Bean. That was a bit random.
Too many empty seats inside this 80,000 seaters. Stade de France. And a warm morning again. I think the conditions are pretty much set for the rest of
Yeah,
the Olympics. 30 degrees today. Later on today.
That was Daniel Craig's finest moment as Bond. No doubt. Him and the Queen.
Coming out as well for qualification in the men's javelin. But then a lot of repechage as well. Women's long jump, so Jazz will be bringing her expertise to that and many other things. But a lot of repechage. But some big names.
His top assignment.
Who, in their first round propers, decided just hi guys. Oh, hello. Jazz, come in.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a
There
long
she is.
time.
Tara Davis will have a little chat with all of us. She is widely considered to be the favourite, but you can't actually call it because we've got champions. And while she is the world indoor champion, we've got an Olympic champion, we've got a world champion, and they're going to make it hard for her. There's Jasmine Moore, already a triple jump medalist here, first American woman to double. And there's a reigning champion, Malaika Mihambo, 7 meters in Tokyo to take the win. I think it will take more than that here. She's had a spot.
She's about 6, Rachel, 5 or 6.
Daughter of Fiona May and current European silver medalist.
It's hard to know exactly because we haven't had her since birth, but around about 5 or 6.
We'll take this chance as well, just to say where you in your progression back from injury.
Yes, for anyone tuning into athletics for the first time, I am also a long jumper. I was hoping to be competing here today. Ruptured my Achilles in April, and it's doing really well, thanks.
Giving me the paw now. I don't know what she expects.
Get on with that, and for those who are tuning in,
Yeah, I think we're stuck with her.
1500 meter runner, no longer trying to get back.
She
We have a lot of used to be's here.
Like I said before, she was being used for breeding before.
Every session is
So it was a bit of a funny start because we needed to get her spayed when we first got her because they hadn't bothered spading her. That was a bit crazy at first, but yeah, settled down. Yeah. And she's friendly with pretty much every dog. Like, there's no dog she comes across that she's not friendly with. Well, having her done so that she can't have any more, so that she can't get pregnant again, Camille, that's what it means.
But Nachi over here was runner-up in Strictly Come Dancing, their version of it. No. So that's why he's got those pit bulls. Yeah, he's the runner-up. How far did you go? Runner-up. Naji Dikuri, and I think that staff thing.
Oh, that sort of looks like kryptonite, that word.
Let's get ready for these 50.
No, it's alright.
As Laura Muir going, it will be the first 6 to the semi-final. There is a repechage round tomorrow, which you do not want to.
By the way, Rachel, I think it must be the next Olympics that break dancing is coming in, because I haven't seen any sign of it in this one.
Tanaka might well be on the outside here. Might think my best chance.
Starting to think you were having me on. Tanaka. Now that's a classic Japanese name. You don't get any more Japanese sounding than that.
Will be, as you can hear, supported in a way which only the French athletes can be here. Great run at the European Championships in.
Yeah, I like to see the home nation athletes do well.
I should say as well that sadly Kieran McGeehan from Ireland has had to withdraw. Yeah. We heard that news last night.
And she's off.
And the other news, in case you were watching last night,
just adds to the atmosphere.
The 5,000 meters in which Sigar was in, she was involved with a confrontation during the race with Faith Kipyegon.
Okay. Alright, take care, Rachel.
Subsequently disqualified.
You too. Speak soon.
Was reinstated after a counter protest by the Kenyan team. So that result now stands as it was. So the quest for another medal begins here for Laura Muir. Heats are always a nervous time. A race you really don't want to run, but you have to advance. But for the better runners, it can only really be a scenario where something can go wrong, rather than anything really positive happens, other than you get advanced to the semi-final. Emily Mackay next to her, who came through the US Championships, second place. And Sonia O'Sullivan's daughter, Sophie O'Sullivan, who used to race Keely Hodgkinson in a junior career.
What a jolly runner she is.
Watching Keely's victory last night. So O'Sullivan for Ireland, Mackay, Laura Muir, Bray, Venezuela, Hoffman, Luxembourg, Sigar, Ethiopia, Griffith of Australia, watch out for her, Bachinska of Poland, Lucia Stafford, Marquez of Spain, Guillemot of France, Adele Tracy, the Jory of Kenya. I'm not just talking about her just yet, Dissa and Tanaka. So what does Laura do apart from just keep out of trouble?
Run, Laura, run!
Yeah, Laura just allowing the field to settle ahead of her, and what else happens? Right at the front, Tanaka goes to the front as we thought she would. She's already got.
Although Tanaka has the best name, so.
The 5,000 meters, and very keen to make sure that from the beginning, this is a good pace that gives the 6 perhaps a chance to move away for the rest of the day. Just tracking around
500.
and settling in after a.
What am I saying? 500. 1,500 meters. Women's race.
Jory is moving up. A US-based, lives in Flagstaff, Kenya. Coached by Stephen Haas. Joe, where do you think Laura is at the moment, Paula? You know, she had a couple of races where it didn't look as though it was going to be a great year for her necessarily, but she's really come on strong and looks ready for these Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I think Laura's really been through the mill the last year or so, hasn't she, in terms of changing her whole setup, also managing the fact that as her career moves on, she's getting stronger endurance-wise, but perhaps that speed isn't there as much. I watched her struggle over an 800 metres in Nice, but then phenomenally quickly turn it around, explain to herself the reasons why, and then move on from that to the race in Paris, where she ran that huge, well, personal best, but a huge season best, a massive big advance for where she'd been. And I think that did wonders for her confidence, just underlying and reinforcing what she was seeing in training, translating to results on the track, and it was the best thing for her coming into these championships.
Yes, a lot of Laura's preparation for the season, the track season in St. Moritz, with quite a few of the other British athletes and indeed international athletes. I don't think you can get moved in St. Moritz for Olympians. 2.9 through the first 800, so it's not that slow. This is pretty good, and Sigai decides she'd like to keep this moving along. Griffiths of Australia in that group. Guillemot having to work hard. You saw the American Mackay close the gap, and Laura Muir jumped the group to get out with the names, because Laura realised that 3 or 4 of the top names were in that leading group, and then Mackay's pulled the pack back here. But Sigai, I think once you get moving, Paula, you might as well keep it going, right?
Yeah, I think certainly for Sigai, she had that hard final, certainly.
Now Mills making a bit of a run.
She had also the different psychological effect of the
Final lap.
So with and so she wants to get out there and make sure that it does not come down to the last lap. Whilst Laura will do capable of the times that she is. And what I really love about Laura is she reacts so easily and calmly to these moves. It doesn't phase her. She just
Tanaka has dropped back to 4th.
No, and a little look up at the screen, just checking what's going on around her. There's still plenty in with a chance of getting in the top 6 here. O'Sullivan of Ireland in the 7th spot, and it's just Clip and Tanaka. All the 2 of them come together.
Yeah, Tanaka's dropping back. She was in front
Moves into a qualifying position. It's
at first.
Laura Muir, Griffiths, the Kenyan Najore, then Mackay, Guillemot moving on the inside. O'Sullivan still has a chance here of getting into the top 6. It's a real scrap down the home straight, and Mackay's struggling a little bit. O'Sullivan can't find anything. So the top 6, as you were, Sigai, Muir, Ajore, Griffiths, Guillemot, looks to the delight of the crowd here, qualifies with the American taking the 6th spot. 3:58 in the heat of the Olympic Games, 1,500 metres. That's partly Tanaka, who went to hard taller, and then Sigai. You know, when you've got someone who likes to lead and then a good athlete who decides to keep it going, you end up 3:58.
Well, Tanaka teed it up, didn't she? And then Sigai obviously thought, okay, this suits me. It's better for me to be able to do that. Maybe running out a little bit of frustration from the way that events unfolded last night for her. You can see she's straight up and back to try and recuperate on some sleep, and she will have that extra recovery there. So look at the tussle. I think Sergio Sullivan is about just trying to extricate herself from the box.
Good run for the French.
I'm not sure if she took the shoe after she'd done all of that work early on. That was game over. Then, unfortunately for Nazema Tanaka, she wasn't able to capitalise on that, and Sophia Sullivan just didn't have the legs at that point to be able to reel in Mackay ahead of her. So the front 5 clearly away, Mackay clinging onto that final 6th spot.
Yeah, she did. She looked in trouble in the home straight, didn't she? But O'Sullivan herself couldn't really capitalise on that. So there's the 6. And you know, I'd say you're struggling because you're operating at such a fast pace. That's almost sort of, well, certainly in the Diamond League 3-4 years ago, that would have been considered very, very quick.
Well, all 6 automatic qualifiers go through under 4 minutes, which is maybe a record.
Could well be. The personal bests for O'Sullivan, for Bissett, for Marquez, for Stafford, you know, the non-qualifying positions, and they've just run a personal best and have to come back and do the repechage tomorrow. That's tough. Just so Ajore there, Paula, we don't really see too much of it, but she's been impressing a lot of people, as I said, based in in Arizona, in Flagstaff, US based, and looked very comfortable there.
And I think one advantage of being US based and going through that racing system there is just learning to position yourself well in races like this and kind of not make those tactical errors. You might have
Of course you'll see her again.
To be able to qualify, but there she's placed
She's
herself
part of
really
the
well through
furniture.
race as well.
Imagine what she's going to do if she makes the final. Great celebrations from the French athlete, Guillemot, coming through there in 5th place. 2 more heats to come, but O'Sullivan will be back for repechage tomorrow.
That's one of the. Is that the most recent sequel? I know there's a crazy amount of sequels. And I thought there was only one film. I didn't know there was all. Well, I might have known about 2, maybe 3. No, I've not really seen any of the Bring It On movies. I've seen bits of the first one. But I've never seen it all the way through. It's a favourite of Rachel, so we're going to do it at some point.
The youngest ever Olympic champion back in 2012, Julia Weber of Germany. The Finns are represented heavily. 3 of their champions. Vadlich may be his time. The athlete was coached by some guy called Jan.
So just to remind people again, who a lot of athletics fans know all about you, but 3 Olympics, 3 medals, bronze, 2 silvers. Take us through back to these Olympic years.
Gosh, how long have you got?
About 40 seconds.
I had a great time. Love the Olympic stage. It's where it matters most, and it catches a lot of people out. Weber, he's a good competitor, certainly a challenger. It's the athletes with stable technique who will deliver. Vadlich, coached by Jan Zelezny, a 3 times Olympic champion. I was being facetious. He is, maybe it's his time. He has lots of silver and bronze. He was European champion this year. Did that in the last round of the competition. But it's qualifying only today. The finals on Thursday. To get a place, you have to come in the top 12. And there's the sector. 800-gram javelin. Get it to land over 83 meters. Sorry, 84 meters. Seems like
so we got some javelin now, if I can say it.
Obviously, of the 80,000, there's maybe 60 or 70,000 this morning. So Jess Hull, who is going, she's going in the third heat. What time she's been running this season, working a little bit with Steve Kraft. So it's also helped, but a huge talent. So we'll get to see her run, but before that we have the second of the heats in the 1500 meters, and Lyndon Hall goes in this one, who was the Australian
second heat though in the 1500. It's funny how you have sort of events happening at the same time on the same track, pretty much.
And Georgia Bell is here and in fantastic form, and Faith Kipyegon. Should have mentioned Faith Kipyegon. Faith Kipyegon, a very interesting night last night, as we have touched upon already, where she took silver in the 1500 meters behind Beatrice Chebet, a great finish in the 5000, and then was disqualified for about 3.5 hours. She was disqualified and then reinstated after her coming together with Rudolf Segai. We've seen Segai going through and looking brisk and businesslike, and a little bit cross as well at the end of the 1500 meters, the first heat. But here we are for the second, and you saw Esther Guerrero and Georgia Bell, UK champion, silver at the Europeans this summer behind Kira McGee. We talked about Kira McGee not being able to run very sadly with an Achilles problem. But Faith Kipyegon, the world record holder in the 1500 meters,
Kipyegon.
Olympic golds in a row after her triumphs in Rio and Tokyo. And who would bet against
Looks
her?
A bit like kryptonite, the word.
Maya Ramsden of New Zealand in this one as well. There is Sarah Healy, 23-year-old Dubliner, having the best season of her young life so far, and 3:57.46 in Paris at the Diamond League last month. And Nikki Hiltz, the American champion, world indoor silver medalist this year, behind Ethiopia's Preweni Hailu.
Linda Hall.
This is Hiltz's
of Aussie,
outside the US this
Rachel's
season.
country.
Linda Hall touched upon.
I guess we should wish her well.
actually became the first Oceanian woman under 4 minutes for 1500 metres in 2021. And that's how this event has moved on in really just in the last season or two in terms of times.
There's a mix of ages then,
4 minutes is something
because you've got one person as old as 33, then you've got this one in her early 20s. I'm not saying 33 is old, by the way, but possibly for running, it's the upper end of the age range.
He's a political editor of Channel 5, but Georgia Bell has had a very interesting story over the last few years coming back to running. Let's get him to stand up again because the toe has strayed. And beyond that, maybe just by a fraction, the starter will say, stand up, reset, green card, go again. Paula, looking forward to this one.
Really looking forward to it. And
Georgia Bell of Great Britain.
the fact that they like to think they're going to have to go. They would have found it difficult to get some sleep last night. I'm sure Georgia Bell had a bit of adrenaline coursing through her after watching what her training partner Keely was able to achieve, and that would have fired her up to come in and acquit herself really well, as she has been doing in pretty much every race. A little bit of adjustment, like one rising and trying to settle down.
Well, it's at this point here, after about 100 metres, it's always such a risky point about 1500 metres because Volteji went to the front just to get to the front, just to stay out of things, but then says, nope, not this pace yet. So then said, look at this here. So 5, 6 athletes going out into lane 3, Georgia Bell, and that's why it's dangerous because feet and legs and knees are close to one another, and this is where you can get falls.
Yeah, the problem is there isn't anybody who naturally would go to the front and really keep this pace moving along, and that task now falls to Lyndon Hall, who probably won't mind that, and she probably would have looked at who else is in the race, and obviously Kip Yeagon is in there. Hilts can really close quickly as well, so for Lyndon Hall to go to the front and just get the pace moving along, not anything startling, but 66 is okay, and then control it from there is not a bad plan.
Well, as we look at the middle of the group, let's have a look at Georgia Bell, second place behind Lyndon Hall at the moment, and tell you a bit more.
What I might do is when I finish this stream, I might do another one a little bit later. We'll see how the day goes, but possibly.
Park runs, but she was doing duathlons as well, and then finding that actually there's something there, and then as you mentioned, working there with Trevor Painter, Billy Hodgkinson's coach. And suddenly, I say suddenly, rising to world class.
And I think that can happen a little bit more in distance running. You can step back and come back into it. And it's in essence what we're talking about, rather than age being the definition of when you should hit the peak of your career. It's probably actually the peak of your training and the miles or kilometres that are on the clock and the type of training and the type of belief. And I think 800 metres for Georgia that she ran at the London Diamond League, actually sitting third on the all-time list, made her really believe that she can compete here. Definitely for a place in the final, but certainly up there, maybe trying to be in the jostle for medals as well.
Well, speaking to a couple of Irish broadcasters just in the last hour or so, and they were disappointed, but not actually that surprised that Ciara McGeehan had to pull out with her Achilles issues. It's been building for a while now. But Sarah Healy in a very fine position here as Nikki Hiltz, the American champion, just comes running the outside into about 5th or 6th place. Kip Yeagon sitting on the shoulder of Georgia Bell, and again that pace just continues to lift here. It's moving along swiftly now.
Yeah, Lyndon Hall's doing a very, very good job with this, just gradually lifting it. Georgia Bell slightly trapped on the inside, but no need to panic because the two outside of her will certainly move over the time of that.
The bell sounds, and it sounds for, well, I was going to say a group of about 10, but actually that group is splintered, and really it's a group of 7 now. Nikki Hiltz moving around Georgia Bell, so out front it's Welteji, the Ethiopian Kip Yeagon, Faith Kip Yeagon sitting in second place, looking comfortable, all that running in her legs from last night. Georgia Bell able to just squeeze on the inside there of Kip Yeagon, and these three beginning to separate themselves from Nikki Hiltz, back to Sarah Healy hanging on, and Simon Prou, the Canadian. And so we have 6 to go through, and I think it might be, well, Sarah Healy, is she going come under a bit of pressure from those behind, hanging on in 6th place at the moment. So Walteji, Georgia Bell is looking comfortable and strong. So too Nick Yeager, of course, Nikki Hiltz in 4th place. Pleward is beginning to labour a bit, but she's going to be okay. And I just wonder if Sarah Healy may be under pressure from Maya Ramsden, the New Zealander. Oh, it's closing so fast, and Ramsden is going to get it on the line by a fraction. Well, what a run that was, and that's Sarah Healy sitting on the track, gave everything. Georgia Bell, very, very impressive run, but again, we've come to expect that from the level that she's now found. But look at Maya Ramsden, between Georgia Bell and Nikki Hiltz, they will go through. Oh, that was hard to watch for if you're an Irish fan, a fan of Sarah Healy. Good work by Georgia Bell.
Very, very good composed work by Georgia Bell, and again another very fast qualifying heat, not quite as quick as the first, but a second or so slower, and everybody that we expected in terms of the top 4 perhaps advancing there, and the tussles came behind that.
It's apologies to Veronika Lizakovska, who was in 5th place with Timo Pleward. So let's watch this move here by Maya Ramsden in the black vest, closing in on Sarah Healy. You can see Sarah Healy, that stride, the cadence is dropping. It can't, Paula, you can explain. That's kind of the lactic. I mean, you can see
the way that she falls over the line. It's just the accumulation of fatigue, and she made a very strong move to get herself into that position. She thought she'd probably done it by shaking off Lyndon Hall, who had paid the price for getting the pace moving so well early on, and just didn't have anything to respond on that final lap. And I think Maya Ramsden just got that extra kick of adrenaline from already reeling in Lyndon Hall, and then saw that it was possible and right on the line grabbed it.
Yeah, I mean, that shot there, you saw Sarah Healy's legs just going. We used to say there's a build-up of lactic acid, but lots of people who are more wise in these things contact us to say it's not lactic acid. I don't know if that, well, perhaps that is a debate for or an explanation for a modern session.
Well, the lactic acid is a byproduct of running faster, and it's a lot of the other byproducts that all add up to cause that cumulative fatigue, and the messages just don't get to the muscles fast enough.
Right, did all that within 10 seconds. I love it. Excellent. Okay, so those are, well, not the qualifiers from sort of the first page, though. Georgia Bell going through safely to the semi-finals. Right, we saw in the first heat Laura Muir going through well. Let's hear from her talking to Sarah.
Well, Laura, what did you want to see from yourself in this opening heat?
I can still run. I think when you've tapered and you've been sitting around and waiting, you're like, oh, hopefully, I feel okay, and yeah, I felt fine. So it was good. Yeah.
And what about how the race played out with kind of 200 or 2.5 laps to go? You just kind of pushed towards that possible breakaway.
Yeah, I could see 4, and I was like, 4's too many. So yeah, I just got on the back of that, slowly worked my way up, keeping an eye on the screen the whole time. There was quite a few of us there at the end, so you know what, I'm just going to stay at the front, out of the trouble. Yeah, job done. Yeah.
And what about this event and the progress in recent years, Laura? It's been phenomenal, hasn't it?
It's been insane, yeah. I was kind of thinking the other day, it's like, it's not like it's come on like 1 or 2 steps, it's more like it's come on a flight of stairs. It's actually insane, but I'm part of that as well, though, which is really exciting. So, yeah, we're on the semi-finals, and hopefully fingers crossed the final, but just got semi-finals right towards now. Yeah.
Best of luck, and
thanks very much. Thank you.
Georgia, into the semi-finals at the Olympics. The comeback season keeps on giving.
I know, comeback season continuing in Paris. Yeah, that was really good fun. The job today was just to progress to the next round. Wanted to stay out of trouble. Anything can happen in the heats, which is scary. So I think just being a bit aggressive early on to make sure you stay out of any accidents is what I wanted to do. So job done.
And then on that final lap in particular, you're on the inside, but on that back straight, you were very clear to make that move.
Yeah, I just didn't want to run any wider than I had to. And I think as soon as you give someone an inch, like mentally as well, they might knock you. So just holding strong and pushing to the end. I'm happy with how that went.
And for you personally, how has the build-up been? It must be good to actually get on the track and run.
Oh my God, I think that's why I was so calm for this race, because I felt like a kid on Christmas morning. I couldn't sleep last night, partly because of teammate Kiwi, but also I've been here for 2 weeks, so I was just dying to get out there.
We'll see you in the semi-final.
Thank you so much.
That's great to hear from That's what the Olympics means, and the excitement of Georgia Bell and Laura Muir going through to the semi-finals. Job done so far. And we've got the big Walcott Nolan coming up, and we also have the javelin continues.
Yeah, we get a glimpse here of Julian Weber. I mentioned how good a competitor he is, and he's done something pretty special here in the first round of qualifying, because the yellow line that the javelin just sails beyond means that the German goes into the lead. 87.76, great width on that. He pulls the javelin, clean flight, way over qualifying. Runner-up in the European Championship recently. Maybe he's the man to take this Olympic title. Final on Thursday.
Well, can we make it 3 for 3? Rene, Walcott, Nolan, third British athlete trying to qualify for the semi-finals, and all these semis have got 3 or 4 big names in. El St-Pierre, Jess Hull here, Nanyondo, former, certainly more of an 800 metre specialist, but is not too shabby at the 1500 either. Let's just go down from the outside. This was the heat that McGeehan of Ireland should have been in, but sadly for her, as Andrew was talking earlier, injuries caused her to pull out. Cavalli made the World Championship final last year. Now, Jessel, what a year. World record in 2,000 metres, 350 for 1,500 metres. Was very disappointed not to do better in the world indoors in Glasgow. Feels as though she is ready to step up and try and win a medal at the major championships. Sassenek made the world final last year. Kazmierska, who's US-based and might take some confidence from her teammate in the previous heat. El St-Pierre, but actually she's raced Jess Hull, it seems, so many occasions. The two of them know each other very well, and St-Pierre had the choice of running the 5,000 as well, elected for just the 1,500 metres, unlike some others. And then Nelly Jepchirchir, watch out for her, 5th in Budapest last year, still only 21 and developing. There's Walcott Nolan, ready to go. And another very promising, promising youngster, 18-year-old Berke Halon. There was a lot of interest as to who actually Ethiopia might pick for the 1,500 metre race. We knew Sigai wanted to triple up, whatever you want to call it. And then, well, Teji, certainly one of the better athletes, but Halon, a great young athlete. But they had other choices. But it is Halon who is here. Really do think she's somebody to contend with. For all of Australia, I'm sure we'll be crossing their fingers for Jess Hull after seeing Lyndon Hall not go through, although Georgia Griffiths made it through nicely in the first heat. So Rene Walcott Nolan will know that, and will have seen Paul of I'm sure how fast the first 2 heats were. She'd probably be better if it wasn't quite as fast. She's got enough kick, and if it sort of is more in the 4-2, 4-3 zone, that's going to be better for her. And it's a slow start.
Yeah, I agree. Ideally, you want it fast enough so that you're not really tightly bunched and tripping over people in that danger of pushing, shoving and falling, but not so fast that it's really, really strung out. And this is starting now to get moving at a pace that I think Walcott Nolan will be more comfortable with. No worries for Jess Hull. However this race is run, I think she has it in her arsenal to be able to cope with that and do whatever is needed, and just the step up in stature for her this year, not only in her own mind, confidence-wise, but amongst the other athletes as well, has been huge.
Yeah, you should never underestimate that. Keely Hodgkinson went through that process 3 years ago. Nobody knows who you are. You win the Olympic silver medal, and all of a sudden you get respect everywhere you go, every race that you run. Jess Hull moving into that territory. Laura Muir has enjoyed that over the years. But this is slow, and it doesn't matter who you are, you still have to come out and perform and get through rounds. And you can just see Jess Hull there. I don't think she's ever totally comfortable when it's very slow. Some athletes like to have that space in front of them, being able to run comfortably. Not others are very happy just sitting on the curb, sitting in the pack and waiting for the gaps to come.
I think Jess Hull is also, she's a very gutsy runner, isn't she? She's a very honest runner. She likes to come off the track and know that she's given it a hard effort. And yes, in the heat, it isn't necessary to do that, and it is all about acquitting yourself well, but no one wants to end up making a silly mistake because it's gone too slow. So she'll be happy this pace is lifting now.
Yeah, and I like Rene Walcott-Nolan just moved up nicely, and you can see the Hull and St Pierre, their experience of hitting under me really when they just someone comes on the shoulder, they then immediately go, nope, I need to be back on the shoulder of the leader and make the move like Laura Muir, making good decisions in the race. 800 slow, 2:15.
It's still only at 67 now, but it definitely kicked off going past the finish line and going into this loop. And Highland is now doing that job of just winding it up, almost imperceptibly, but definitely lifting, because you can see how much the field are stringing out behind. No one detached yet for those 6 places.
Yeah, it'll start to be a bit of a strap on behind to try and get under the train, as they describe it here. Alfonso of Portugal in kind of that 6th spot with Walcott-Nolan, who just gets a little push. Well, she realised she wanted to check out of where she was, because others are coming on the outside, including Van der Elst as we approach the bell. Halon leads, Hull on her shoulder, Chepchirchir here on the inside, St Pierre is there, Nanyondo is there. Oh, and look at Halon pushing and shoving. I think she's just got to clip behind maybe Chepchirchir is running very close to her legs.
Yeah, I think that was Chepchirchir just slightly tripped her legs. Walcott-Nolan did an excellent job of weaving her way through to be able to get herself into a position where she can fight in this final lap.
Hull has just covered every move that anyone has made, and Chepchirchir goes there. Hull on her shoulder, St Pierre there, Nanyondo starting to go backwards, and it's the Paul Kazimierska who's coming through very strongly indeed, and the aforementioned Portuguese athlete who might just surprise people getting through here. Alfonso looking good, and for Walcott-Nolan there is still an opportunity. She could find something, but these 5 are well clear. It's not going to be a good result for Walcott-Nolan. Sadly, his others are gliding through. So Chepchirchir wins it, then Hull, then St Pierre, and there was actually Germany who came through. I think, or was it? Sorry, Perez of Spain. That orange is throwing me. But Alfonso did great. She put herself in a good position with the big names ahead of her. It was always going to be various athletes who had a chance. And Kazimierska, who's US based, I think she's at the University of Oregon, or was, which is Jess Hull's former university. So I for the two of them there. The heats don't tell you much about the big names, because they run it. But that heat was a bit different. We'll come back to it in a second, Paula.
Yeah, rejoining this.
Javelin, back to javelin.
Genki Dean of Japan. We've seen Julian Weber of Germany go 87.76, easily beyond the auto qualifying of 84 metres. Oliver Heylander. It's 2 groups of 16. This is the first group. Dean, connections to the UK. No British representatives here, as close as we'll get. And Dean here's it's a good throw. Okay, it's over 80 metres, and that's going to be around the cusp of the top 12, I suspect. Around 82 metres. Remember, Nick Neeland in Sydney 2000 was
he's a big guy.
Longest ever non-qualifier with 82 metres in 13th place. But Dean here has thrown 82.48, a season's best.
Yeah, a season's best is exactly what you want. He says he's sort of a shake of the hand to go. It was all right, but it's the best he's produced in 2024 so far.
Season's best in an Olympic arena. Can't knock out Jakub Vadlec then. So this man is dangerous.
Dangerous.
2024. He's shown.
Well, he's got a javelin in his hand. Of course, he's dangerous.
Victory at the very final stages. This is only qualifying though. Over 84 meters. Oh, well, what was that? He does have a different style, coached by Jan Zalesny to good effect, I have to say. But the run-up was awful. I mean,
awful.
I can't think of another way to describe it.
Anyone else does that, and you say straight away, oh, that throw's going nowhere. He runs in like that, and it sails over auto qualifying. What makes the difference?
Well, the position there gets a good base. He pulls the javelin. He's a physically incredible specimen. Jan Zalesny says he's got everything that he didn't have. Jan, of course, world record holder, 3-time Olympic champion. So he's got a great engine to work with, but it's just the challenge of refining it. And look at this, so no runoff, that impulse strike that gives you so much impetus and momentum, he just ignores that, does nothing, chucks his base in, and then he has the strength to handle those massive forces. 85.63 for Vadlich, and he's also got a ticket to the party on Thursday as part of that final.
Well, you only got a quick glimpse there of, I was just going to bring Paula in and chat about a couple of things there. One was the disappearance from that top six of Halon, who just pretty much jogged in there. There is repechage, of course, to come, so maybe she was thinking about that. Same for Walcott Nolan, she'll have to come back tomorrow. Not able to get into the top six. Let's get her thoughts though. Let's see if she's looking forward to that yet or still digesting this race.
Ruby, how did you find that then? Yeah, it was quite tough today. I got caught up in a couple of trips and I've been spiked.
Was that from the one just at the bell on that final lap?
I mean, it happened like 3 times and it just like completely threw me off my rhythm. But I can run so much faster than that, so I'm just really annoyed.
And that final lap then, after that final clip, what were the thoughts and how were you feeling in your legs at that stage?
I felt good. I honestly, at the bell, like I thought I could claw back into the top 6, but yeah, where I like came off the pack and then had to go a bit wide to try and get back to the group. Yeah, they just took a lot out of me and I just didn't have the legs in that final straight, but yeah, I'm really disappointed with that.
Of course, the opportunity there for the repechage.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad I've got another chance, but obviously, yeah, it's not ideal. But I think I'm strong enough to hopefully be able to make it through the repechage and then focus on the semi-final.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
They Walcott Nolan, I mean, as she's alluding to there, repechage means tomorrow morning, and then if you get through to the semi-final the next day, so it comes thick and fast.
Kishon Walcott, 2012 Olympic champion, second round, has to improve on that first round throw of 74 metres. It is going to be better, it's flat and it's long. Okay, Kishon.
Flat and long.
That's better.
That is much better. And as Steve was telling us all earlier, that mark of around 82, which is what I would think that is landed out at, maybe a little bit more, it will be sort of the cusp for 12th place. Of course, there's a whole other pool of men coming later on this morning, so you've got to get your best 3 throws out and hope for the best.
So Walcott 83.02. He's got that horrible situation where he'll want to improve to make sure, but likely to be enough. But right on the cusp, that will be probably just the right side of it, but we'll wait to see. Number 2, Indian javelin thrower, Kishore Kumar.
What the fuck?
It's dipping down just over that 75-metre line.
Oh, he seemed to hurt himself, but it was worth it, I guess.
Kumar Yena. Great strength in Indian javelin throwing.
I do like his orange trainers.
Of the event, his teammate Neeraj Chopra, the reigning Olympic champion, 80.73, no improvements in that second round. 2 athletes auto qualifier and removed from the sector. Greva and Vadlich.
Just wondering if you could ever get into a position, Steve, where you were hurling your body to the ground.
Yeah, it's become more popular. I think Jan Zalesny did it a few times, and others have copied the nuances as we watch Tupai doing exactly that. I mean,
that's exactly what we did in the first round. Just move your run up back a little, or maybe get excited with the French crowd.
Oh, look at this. Far too close to the line. Hurls his body. I mean, no wonder he's got strapping on that right elbow.
That was one for the crowd.
2 fouls though for the French athletes. Great support, but will need a throw in excess of 83 metres probably in the 3rd round.
Tara Davis-Woodhall waving to the camera. She really enjoys the theatre of the event, of the sport. She's America's cowgirl, I said roommate. has managed to medal at each major championship except for last year, where she had her bronze snatched away from her in the final round. Tara with her American teammate Jasmine Moore already on the podium, as I mentioned earlier, in the triple jump. And there, sort of more quiet corner of the ballroom, Ivana Spanovic and Larissa Yappuccino just calmly waiting for their
What a great name.
to make her into final.
Lappuccino.
It's looks like she's just been watching the Americans. What's going on? So Laura Muir safely through. Two Britons safely through from the women's 1500 metres in Laura Muir and Georgia Bell. Walcott, Nolan will go into the repechage. These are the qualifiers, straight qualifiers for the semi-finals. A bit of Saga. I mean, these were quick times, but again, I said times have changed slightly. But look at that, just in qualifying, first round qualifying.
The advantage being that they do have more recovery, having run that fast. The disadvantage for those going into the repechage is it's really tough to turn it around.
See, Tanaka was put through there as well, and eventually lost a shoe.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm pleased for her. We'll just...
Well, this is something that interests me about repechage, Paul, and Freddie Crittenden yesterday, was it yesterday, not in the 110. Hello, back to the gentleman.
So Nuro straight down the middle here in the second round of throws. Not what we can tell from that angle. The remaining, I'll tell you what, warmed up. Colin Jackson sat alongside me and gave me a nudge because he threw well beyond auto qualifying in warm-up, and he's got it all the way the wrong round. Novak of Romania, 77.35 in round 2 after a foul in the first round. And that's poor management.
That's such a frustrating thing as an athlete, and you have to be able to deal with that when you know you're in shape. You've seen yourself do it in the warm-up, and you're just not bringing it to the competition. But that's part of the challenge.
So David Megna of Poland next up, a man who's thrown 80 metres this year and his lifetime best of 82 metres. So under that pressure of needing to do something he's never done before just to make the final. Polish World Champ finalist last year, so he does have some history of doing the business on the big stage. Can he do it again here in the second round? Well, the javelin is dipping badly and it's just over 75 metres. He decelerated on the run-up, and that's the biggest sin of all. You won't see it from that angle, but just his momentum, his centre of gravity was decelerating.
Decelerating?
Just doesn't work. No one throws far doing that. If he accelerated through, the javelin jumps out of your hand, as opposed to that sort of just dipping down. 75.53, off his best. One more try.
We were talking about earlier, Steve, how that acceleration on the runway is so consistent throughout the field events.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Athletes decelerate into the moment where they either throw or jump. That's where things go wrong, almost regardless of what event you're watching.
100%, Jazz. It's very similar to the horizontal jumps as Karinen of Finland. We've seen one Finn throw a long way in Helander, his teammate, but that's disappointing for the Finn Toni Karinen. A season's best of over 84 metres. And it is their national sport. We want Finns in the final. They bring such a passion to the event. 79.
I was going to say, I do think of Finnish athletes as being good in that sport.
Women's long jumpers, reigning champion Malaki Mahambo waves to the crowd, to many fans, I'm sure. And I'm enjoying seeing the demeanour of these women and how they all approach the qualifying in a different way. We've barely seen any emotion from Ivana Spanovic. There's Brooke Bushcourt of Australia, 7th the last 2 Olympic Games. Commonwealth medalist twice.
So back to the javelin, Abdel Rahman of Egypt. 7th at the World Champs, his best. Powerful Egyptian athletes. The auto qualifying 84 metres based on previous championships and the likelihood they don't want 12 athletes to get that distance, so it's just a mark that they know, or think at least, that will be a carrot of people to get auto qualifying, but top 12 go through regardless. And typically 8, 9, 10 athletes might get over qualifying, maybe a few less. Abdel Rahman Another athlete slightly decelerating in the javelin stalls badly. He's hurt.
Looked like he almost stopped before he released the javelin, which I can't see how you're going to get speed through it that way.
Went straight to his elbow there, and his classic throwers, if it goes around the side, the javelin or the throwing arm has to go over the top, as in higher than your shoulder. As soon as you throw around the corner with a low hand, which the tall Egyptian has done there, the forces on the elbow are too much for it to handle, and he's suffered the consequences.
He's got a little scar on his elbow, presumed surgery, yeah, you must get a lot of elbow injuries in this sport.
Yeah, classic elbow, shoulder, back, hips, knees, Achilles. The left arm's normally okay. Curtis Thompson then, of the USA, gets too close to the line, and that's another classic. A bit like getting too close to the board in long jump jazz. You then slightly decelerate, you shorten the base, and it all unravels from there.
Yeah, the run-up is so important. We think about field events as being
His
about
face tells the
throw,
story.
but so much of it is about the run. And for Curtis Thompson there, having to shorten, having to chop his strides, just meant he wasn't able to get the throw he needed.
Just to clear up a couple of things that we were talking about a moment ago before the javelin, where we mentioned that Nozomi Tanaka, the Japanese athlete, had been put through from the first heat of the 1500 metres after losing a shoe coming together with Sophie O'Sullivan. So she's been put through. Sophie O'Sullivan was just outside the top 6, hasn't been disqualified after that, after catching Tanaka, which is important because if she hadn't been disqualified, she wouldn't be allowed to run in the repechage tomorrow morning. But Sophie O'Sullivan will be. And we mentioned as well just seeing Freddie Crittenden in the call room. And so he goes here in the 110 metres hurdles. So this is the repechage. And Freddie Crittenden in the first round jogged around. I mean, there have been a couple of athletes. We'll see later on, actually, we'll see Shawnee Miller-Ugo going in the 400 metres. Now, she jogged, actually just walked round to make sure that she was allowed to get into the repechage because she's had an injury. She's hoping for more time to recover. Well, it's almost exactly the same for Freddie Crittenden. So we'll give you his time from the heats. Why not? 18:27, Colin. He jogged over the barriers, just took his time because he's trying to get a couple more days for an adductor injury to heal.
Yeah, he spoke about it after the race because we were all wondering why a man who's capable of 12.93 was literally hopping over the barriers. But a couple of days can make a big difference. No doubt he's had some anti-inflammatory injections, painkiller injections, to try and give him this opportunity because he's always had that desire of trying to be an Olympian. And he's here, but if he can be fit, he can contend.
So Asia Martinez, the European champion a couple of years ago in Munich, World Championship bronze that year as well in Oregon, but just not quite finding that level, although I think he might be one of the ones challenging for the 2 places here. 2 places will go through to tomorrow's
Enzo Diesel.
Enzo Diesel.
What a great name.
20-year-old.
Love it.
European junior champion.
Maybe I'll root for him.
Argentina. Argentinian mother, German father, competes for Austria. And Liu of China goes in lane 8. So Freddie Crittenden, second fastest in the world this year behind Grant Holloway. It was second, that was at the US Olympic trials. Focusing on Asia Martinez in lane 5 because he was the fastest of these men in the first round. That's why he goes in lane 5. But Freddie Crittenden, really all focus should be on him because ignored the time that he ran, he was just trying to. And you have to show that you're giving a bona fide effort as well.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't physically push over the barriers, he did make technically an attempt of clearing them.
Well, Shawnee Miller-Ugo in the 400 metres ran 2:27, I think. So I say ran, so she walked after running the first 100 metres. So anyway, we'll see her shortly in that repechage. But here, the first of the repechage heats in the men's 110 metres hurdles, 2 to go through to the semis. Wasn't much of a pause there for the bang on. Freddie Crittenden hurts that first barrier. Moving okay though, and taking the lead now. Seems to be all right. Freddie Crittenden, Asia Martinez also got through. They are the two. 13:42, and judging by his celebration, he's feeling okay as well, not feeling the injury.
Yeah, good to see Freddie do that, but he'll also know that 13:42 is not going to do that much damage in the next rounds. Let's see Martinez. I think he'll be slightly relieved that he's got through there. He's not feeling his very best either.
Just judging by that reaction from Freddie Crittenden, it must be some relief that he's pain-free. That's all I can think, because 13:42 is obviously not a great time for him at all.
Yeah, no doubt he tested himself, you know, putting himself through the paces with a little bit more force, a little bit of pressure. How is the body responded to that? And he's, apart from his first hurdle, when he's very careful going into that, didn't quite elevate himself, ended up crashing it. From there on in, he was very, very smooth. So I feel like he's just feeling his way through these rounds, and he must be very relieved because he knows he can step it up. And if he steps it up 2-3 meters, which he's more than capable of, he's going to be not too far off the rostrum.
Well, I think what we see there is what the repechage means to athletes, because in days gone by, he would have been out with his injury in the first round. But suddenly, he's still here at the Olympic Games and still with a chance of taking a medal, perhaps. So there we are, Freddie Crittenden and Asia Martinez go through, but for the rest, it is farewell to the Olympics.
I cannot believe, guys, it's 40 years since I've won the Olympic Games. Sometimes I keep pinching myself. I remember getting in that arena. I tell you what, it was one of the scariest moments, but breathe deep, control your emotions, remember all of that. The last thing I remember saying was, please God, please let it be right. And then I started to run. And when I hit that javelin, it was the smoothest I could have felt.
And that's looking very good. Oh, it's just short of 70.
A new Olympic record.
That's a great.
I got down on my knees, my hands was aloft. This was the one coveted trophy that I wanted. It was great. I loved it all.
Yeah, we all loved it, Tess, and August the 6th today is 40 years. Unbelievable. She must have been so young. 40 years ago, Tessa Sanderson became the first.
I'm sure she was. It was 40 years ago.
Los Angeles 84. Great memories.
Ah, 1984. Great memories. Love Tessa. When you say she must have been very young, you must think the same about me, Steve, because we were both there.
Yeah, we were all words out of my mouth.
We were both 12.
So back to this javelin, and Tupai of France, great support, capacity crowd here, 80,000 people are going to be winning this 800-gram javelin. He's on 2 fouls, and this is his
Come on, Tupai.
too close.
Oh, man.
Press the abort button. He will have 30 more seconds to start his run up. That clock to the right of the sector.
He's got another shot.
Started his run up, not finished it. Don't rush, take your time, fella. He needs space on this. That's been his downfall. He's close again, and the javelin is not. Oh dear. Okay, that's the end of his games. Tupai of France will not be in Thursday's final.
Disappointment. That's a shame, to quote Jerry Seinfeld.
Valenciennes, yeah, I was just going to say the French hurdler. It's really confusing when they go, they get sort of panicking, and I'm going, is he in the next heat? He's in the next heat, if you know what I mean. Here is the next heat. And France with another one of their high hurdlers here. There is a withdrawal in this one. John Cabang from Philippines. There have been quite a few athletes who've decided not to take the chance of repechage, but most of them are here. There you see Kaban from Philippines not lining up, so it'll be 6 men trying to get through. Just the top 2. This could be a pretty tasty repechage race here. Yefremov, 25-year-old on the far side. Then you got Pereira, 13:47 this year. He has run much quicker in the past, and has just started to find a little bit of form coming into this. And that 13:47, I suspect, has maybe been injured because that's his season's best that he ran in the heat. And if you look at who performed best in the heat, Pereira was one of them. Sikia, who you really would think should have been not in this situation of in the repechage. 4th of the World Championships in 2022. And he's having to, well, we'll have to go some here. Modi of Germany. He was pretty swift in the heats as well. Bouanani of Algeria. And then Mohamed of France. Not a great performance from him in the heat, so will need to be a fair bit better here. If he could run close to his season's best, then he's got a chance here. There are no fastest losers. We've got 3 of these heats. Only the top 2 will go through. 13:42, wasn't it? Yes, I'm just checking for Freddie Crittenden in the previous heat.
Go Modi.
Manuel Mordi of Germany with some support, the 20-year-old. Chikia
Mordi
needs to find some good form here. DNF in the European Championships that were held in Rome. It's going to trip the season from starting off decently. So theoretically, if you took a line from the heat, it would be Pereira and Mordi going through here, but Chikia's certainly good enough, so is Mohammed. Could be really close, this. Well, if I was Yefremov and he's going to get a false start there, Pereira took ages to set the next
false alarm.
Prolong the whole starting process. Now, I suspect he won't get a hearing because he very clearly moves out. But Pereira took forever.
Yeah, I've been really frustrated, as I was saying, when I would literally have stood up and just basically accused him of that and make the starters really. And the starters, assistants, the stewards there really go and have a chat with him to say, get in those.
There's always one, isn't there?
And now, of course, maybe it's a little bit
Damn Pereira.
in this situation, in this circumstance. I think sometimes when you get onto the diamond leagues, you get that confidence to be able to stand up for yourself in this circumstance. But here, you haven't really experienced it and you're not sure what you should do. You just literally do what he did and end up having a false start.
Get yourself down there, Cole. Go and argue his case. The shop steward for starting. Yeah, bless it. It's not always easy either. You know, you may. I'm not even sure what language you could converse with them in. You know, if you don't, if that's obviously another issue as well. So Yefremov has to leave. So then we're down to 5.
Yeah, they've lost one.
You could make a case for.
And then there were 5.
Go through, Colin.
Yeah, this is a very, very tight race. It'd be interesting if they show a little bit more control of these men were very, I'm going to use the word clumsy in the initial qualifying rounds, the first rounds. And I think now they know they're going to have to be much tighter if they want to make this semi.
Only 5 men to contest this second heat, top 2 to go through. Pereira, Sikia, Mordi, Bouanani, Mohammed. Oh, here we go again. That was the crowd this time. Somebody
Fuck's sake! That's on the
It's
crowd.
pretty good since the first
Damn
morning.
crowd.
We had a little bit of this in the decathlon heats, but since then, crowd have been pretty good because it's a new crowd every day. Most people have got one ticket for the athletics morning or evening session. I think as well, when you've got a crowd of this size of people coming to the Olympic Games, of course not everyone is an athletics fan or understands that it is absolute silence for the start of the sprints, and people are excited. Well, there is a note put on the big screens as well, which says, "Quiet please for the start." Incidentally, I read somewhere that if you remember the delay in the 100-meter final, apparently it was a protester that was trying to get onto the track. That was the reason why it was delayed. Third time of asking, Pereira, Chikia, Mordi, Buonani, Mohammed of France closest to the camera. Just 5 with 2 places available. That's another long hold. I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Perhaps this is just getting so frustrating. You can hear by the response of the crowd, they're having enough. But yeah, it was a technical thing again. Maybe it needs to be charged, Steve. I don't know.
See, that's like you find a bike, you find the electric bike, and you think, yeah, I've located one, and you find the battery's gone. It's the disappointment. It's not fair on the athletes, though. You know, that's the technical equipment failing is basic, isn't it?
Did he plug it in then for a quick charge, you think?
Well, I know it's the morning and people are it's 4th or 5th day, but somebody should surely check it all. It's been used. Let's run out of battery. So these are electronic noise that's generated rather than old style starting gun. You mentioned about composure, Colin, in terms of the hurdling, but composure at the start here as well with all this going on.
Yeah, you've got to really keep your wits about you. Remember what the job is to be done. Remember what you need to respond to initially. And it is the reaction. It is the sound of them. And really believe in what processes you've done to get here. You've done this thousands of times.
For the 4th time then, Heat 2 tries to get away. Pereira in 3, Chikia 4, Mordi 5, Buonani in 6, Mohammed in lane 7.
Come on, Mohammed.
Finally,
There we go.
Chikia gets a good start. So does Pereira. Mohammed got left a little bit, right in the middle. Mordi going well for Germany as well. It's Mordi who's just got this from Pereira at the moment. Very, very close. But then Buonani's coming through. Did he get it on the lead? Wow, that was close. Buonani may well have just come through right at the end there. Mordi thinks he's through. He might not be. This is very, very close. Pereira and Mordi were neck and neck all the way down. Mordi didn't get quite as good a start as Pereira, but
That was a close
hurdle
one.
was right there with him. Just talk us through this, Colin. And then Buonani came.
Yeah, Pereira got a very good start, and he was in the middle of the field. He kept a very cool head, but then he started to chase himself. The barriers come a little bit closer, and then he had to make literally alterations. He clattered that barrier. That allowed people to come flooding through. Ended up being a dip finish, and it was the person who holds their technique together. The back end of this race allows you to run off the barrier strongly. And did the Frenchman get it on the lean? Boy, this is tight. Really is tight.
It may well be the two. I mean, Mohammed came off the last barrier horribly, actually, off balance, but he had momentum, as indeed did Buonani. So let's wait. Everybody is watching this. And Mordi was kind of, I've got through, but I'm not convinced he has, I'm afraid. But let's wait and see the result. This is going to be so, so close. We've had dead heats. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, because Tony Karinen of Finland is on the runway for his final throw in this qualifying process. His teammate Helander, 83-81. Oh, that's a beautiful throw. A great release straight over the top. And look at that flight. That's how to fly to javelin. He's never in his life gone beyond 85 metres, and he's just dropped that in there in this Olympic qualifying. Straight over the top, that's what I was talking about earlier. 36-degree angle of release. Well, it seemed optimal. And look at that flight. It's like an old javelin. 85 plus will qualify just by how far. 85.27 becomes the fourth man to go over. That's beautiful. That's a pull of the javelin again. Great positions. PB in qualifying. Doesn't get better than that, Jazz.
And round 3, when you absolutely need it, in the moment of your life. That's what I love to see from athletes. That's what tells me you've got what it takes.
Well, there are murmurs going around as we just, Steve, go through this qualification. Just the javelin.
Just to clarify the auto qualifiers. Mentioned Weber, who athletes have history 1 and 2 in the European Championships, and these athletes will not qualify, and their games are over. So no real surprises in Group A. The second group getting ready to go. Features Neeraj Chopra, the reigning Olympic champion. Look forward to seeing him get started.
Well, the murmur turned into a massive cheer because Mohammed has been given second place behind Ferreira, which I do find strange. Morley was definitely run out, but Bonani has been given third. We haven't yet been given a thousandth of a second. Actually, we have. My word. It comes down to this, Colin, doesn't it? The lean in the end. Ferreira was on the far side, Mohammed on this side, Bonani next to him, but Ferreira has been given it.
Yeah, solid there for him. And I think he'll feel himself a little bit fortunate after making a clumsy mistake at a very crucial part of the race that he's ended up with a victory. The Frenchman, he gets through as well. And Steve, you've got to remember, by 1,000th, I think, 1,000th, incredibly tight.
Well, that was close. It wasn't. There's a reaction from Mohammed. He will go through. No fastest losers. Bonani will be out. But Freddie Crittenden came through.
Oh, Mohammed got through. Good.
First, Stephen spoke to him afterwards.
I'm happy.
Freddie, the repechage is a new thing, and I think we may have found the biggest fan of
it. Yeah, definitely was a blessing for me to be able to utilize that and come out today and make the semifinal for sure.
So how were you feeling considering that injury that you were struggling with?
It was up and down a lot, after the prelim, medical staff said, don't do anything. Chill out. Don't rub it. Don't ice it. Just kind of chill. So, like, the past 2 days, I haven't been knowing what's been so, like, I just was waiting for the warm-up, and took the warm-up one step at a time, one drill at a time, and it was up and it was down. Sometimes it was like, that was trash. Sometimes it was okay, but I just let the moment come and do the best I could, and now we're on to semis tomorrow.
And when you were on those starting blocks, did you know you would be okay, or was there still a...
No, I had no idea. I was just go for it. We'll see. If I feel it once, I'll try to push through it. If I feel it twice, maybe I'll shut it down. We'll see. I don't know. I was just going for it.
But you're through. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Okay, see. See if I can get the rest of the volleyball.
A truly electrifying week of sports so far, hosted in the cities from across the globe, carrying the hopes of their nations. It was delightful.
Really well, don't get me wrong, they're trying to shut down Vargas and they do. But in one moment, you can take out two of your best players, and that is.
And then goes over to Santarelli saying, no, don't challenge that, that's my fault.
To seeing, and finally Vargas opening up her shoulder, these swings coming in fast and hard. The team in white, and they're up by 5 points early on.
Vargas unloads. She's getting.
China doing really well to come away with that one after.
Eight teams.
Their side. Very few people do that on purpose, though.
Quick tap in the middle. Out wide. It rattles through the block. The lead continues to grow. 14-8. For the block touch. So
away on the captain as well. Excellent momentum point for China.
that sets out one.
Come on.
Free ball to work with, and Lee hammers it home. We'll be aware there's no libero in that 5, and she's going after that middle.
Oh, it's a tripper. You can guarantee she's not going to have it. You pandemonium protect. Well, as expected, Hoshbay still on the bench. So Sahin will stay in on setting duty. It's one set all. It's China to serve here. Height on the net. Well made, Karaka.
One settle. Back to the volleyball, guys.
Bit of a smack on the floor from Karaka afterwards.
So I should see the conclusion to this. Then I'm going to walk the dog and then some skateboarding.
So the original call is that Karaka hits it off the netting as the net out onto Turkey's side. But Turkey looking for a block touch off of China.
Well, 2 challenges available in this set. If it's successful, they remain those 2. If not,
Well, he's been
there, done it at club level on the greatest stage. Just needs an Olympic medal to his name. Took over in 2022. former Serbian head coach as well, alongside his day job. Just a busy coach all around, isn't he?
Yeah, very casually. Several things on the go.
He does love his sport, though. There you see it. Well, it's just going across the right-hand side of those Olympic rings. No touch. Such is the tension of the net. Firing that ball across. So, on the first point of the game, in the third set here, Santamedi's down to watch one challenge. What would you like? Right then, just watching on. Flat set pushed in. Gunesh gets the touch.
Gunesh not being used to her full potential just yet either. She's capable of some massive swings through the middle. Being a little bit more accessed in set two.
It's a float serve from Kauka. I say just a float serve, it's still a solid serve. Vargas.
Vargas.
Picked up. Santamedi goes straight away to celebrate.
What the fuck? Did he come on the court and celebrate?
China could put a defender behind this.
Bit much.
By the way, is up so steep in front of the attack line Gong defending this one. And she's in the right spot. And it's hit so hard it hits off her platform and out and away.
Another great serve from Carragher. Free ball being pumped. A wave of attacks coming in. It goes out with a push down the line. Baladin. Smart play.
And very smart from her. And Turkey actually coming away with more points on these kind of off-speed tricky plays than they are the big swings. China very much preparing for a highly offensive team, and they're set really far back on defense. Turkey doing a good job to change up their gameplay a little bit.
Okay, continues this devilish close serve. China scrambling away. Baladin turning to the crowd. Well, there's a passion about the way the ladies from Turkey play, but also the supporters and the expectations back home. They're almost superstar status there.
So China calling a timeout. Turkey up 4-1 in set three.
Same as it was in the first set. China came back. Can they do that now? Magic camera moving around just shows you the angles that these attackers have the options of swinging. Vargas one-on-one. Lee again taking out that line shot. So 16 for 31. She's currently on 16 points. All out attacks. Next behind her is Lee Ying on 10. Line serve just long.
I think she thought that might have been an ace, and fair enough, it was pretty close, but not quite enough to dip into that baseline.
You can bottle her energy and her passion and her commitment. I reckon it'll be a fast-selling product. Nice set, good reverse. Karaka trying the footwork to keep the ball alive.
It's lovely to find Gong again, and she's essentially against that 1v1 Gunesh late on the block, just because she had to stay with that middle attack through China as well. Trying to do a really good job of running some complex offense to keep Turkey on the toes.
Gunesh has come up with a big swing, but she again dragged it wide. It was a good connection.
Definitely a much better connection on this one. But again, it's all about those angles and finding those lines. You have to push the lines. Again, it's a tiny bit too far from Gunesh, but she'll find it. It's only 4-4 in set three.
Back to serve. Vargas. On her approach, she comes out, and the angle coming in, you can tell these attack lines are getting steeper and steeper every time.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely found herself in set 2 and now in set 3 as well. She is coming in so sharp on these cross-court swings.
Nice take on the defense. That was all made from that pass in from Wang and Jay.
Another nice one in between Karakurt and Sahin. It's just a little bit too far in the seam for either of them to get a platform behind.
Karakurt flat ball in. Oh, Maladin. Well, across the volley. Beautiful swing. She's not all about the tip, is she?
Oh, you know what? We'll just call that a rapid offense. That from Karakurt, not meant to be so steep, but a really nice set right out to the antenna. Opens up the line shot for Maladin. Just beautiful.
Expression of breath as she fires that ball down the line. Shooting, waits to watch. Okay, it's underneath it again. She's a great game from a libero perspective. Off the block and out of play.
Turkey were up and then they let China get right back into a tie game. But they're working to come up again early days in set 3.
I guess we get that top spin in. Well, she's found a rhythm, but not the landing. She's got a good rhythm.
The landing was awkward as could be, but you know what? She committed to striking the ball where she needed to in the air, and I think she'll just be happy with that. The landing really leaning over to her left, but it put so much swing on that ball.
Expect this one to go pretty similar. And a landing as well. Back-to-back aces from Vargas. Well, this is what you want to see at this level in the quarterfinal. The best players delivering the best performances. And Vargas, well.
This swing, a completely opposite player it's swinging onto. But again, it starts where it almost looks like it's going onto Wang and it swings onto Gong.
Third set is pretty close.
Almost a third ace. China have a chance here to stop this run of points. Can they get Vargas off the line? They can. They have to work for it.
Good hit.
They sure did. And Karakurt and Vargas knocking each other over earlier on in this set. It's just a touch, or in the rally rather, it's a touch off the block and out deep. And Vargas and Karakurt not ready to pick up that deep one.
Gong might not be the most powerful opposite, but she uses the ball really well. And Shinjue doing the work defensively at the net. On two. Brilliant work.
Good teamwork.
She had a little look.
Santorelli is so entertaining to watch as a coach. When his players do well, he is so on their side. I mean, he is all the time, but he's just got these incredible celebrations with them as well. And that look from Shaheen, and she just takes a quick look, sees that block, not going to be on her, and just really clever with the left hand, pops it over.
Awareness, peripheral vision for the setters to see what's going on. Lovely up from Maladin.
Oh, kept it alive well.
Well, they got their game. They knew after that game against Italy.
Vargas is the lethal weapon.
Knockout stage at Olympic Games. They need to improve. And improve they have. Timeout called. It's a 5-point game. 11-6. Points there to show you. 5-5. Just starts to pull away. 11-6. How did China stop Juggernaut of a team? Got so much to deliver. Such expectation on their shoulders, both internally and externally in the country. Out wide. Shooting. Rolls back the ears of Kiema. Brilliant work. That double touch, Kiema. Okay, doing her work defensively.
That's an unfortunate one for Turkey because it was a lovely placement for the set off some really nice defense as well. Utah will be getting a bit frustrated.
7-11.
Things aren't going down, but they're doing a really good job as a libero.
I had to say that score because it's name of the store.
Well, she stepped inside on the pipe attack. Drops the third. That's beautiful in the corner.
I love when they get fired up like this. It's so good to see Turkey back in system. They had a bit of a shocker against Italy. We'll call it what it is, but they seem to be back to their normal gameplay now.
Big block.
Good block.
Hard to go home kind of team when they play at that level.
Yeah, exactly. And they're looking to go hard today. So far doing well, but Gunish on this one was used off the block. She was leaning a little bit to the outside of court as well, trying to seal off that cross.
Quick sack in the middle. Gunish this time opting to go to the right. Takes for power at the ball to the middle of the court it goes. Nice pass in for Baladin. Well, almost catch it on the outside of the hand. Very deliberate.
Yeah. And if it works, it works.
Not sure that was in the master plan of Santorelli. Just go with it. Take half swing. Composure. Carricker. Again, she's got the tip. We haven't seen the best of her yet. Leading in. Free ball. Trying to look to play from the back line. Shooting. Well, she has options where to go.
I mean, this was excellent from Turkey, but they just weren't able to get a hard swing off. Zhu Ting will do just that and go for the 1v1 against Gunish.
Yeah, she was fast to the draw there.
5 members from the 2016 gold medal winning team in Rio. Still playing now. This is the final swan song for them. Carricker, she goes hard cross court. Vargas has a free swing. Leading it almost with a stunning block to keep her alive.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Vargas just looks like she's having fun now. This was a lovely swing from Carricker, and I'm glad she's finally unloading as well, getting some confidence. Poor Li Ying off the floor.
She says a good job she put her hands up.
Absolutely, that could have been it.
Carricker dropping short. Look at the swagger.
Oh, swagger's the perfect word for it. And that'll be excellent for her confidence as well. Again, it's not always those big, flashy serves that work. Sometimes you hit a dead ball, look at this, no spin, drops like a stone.
Well, she's kicked that stone back up again and delivered another big serve. Flat set, gong on the angle. She's quietly gone about her job in that opposite role from China.
Yeah, Gong's having a good game.
Carricker takes a break. Still, Keegan comes on, the 30-year-old outside hitter.
10-15. Cute Turkey.
Left hand of Li Ying onto Baladin. Runs the middle, Gunish was a little bit too flat. Good pullback, Vargas.
Oh, great hit from Vargas.
Gets the ball for this one. Put that in the path.
What a game she's having.
This is just excellent libero work, and then I love the head-to-head of Vargas and Zhu, and Vargas sneaking that between the block, and that's going to be so difficult to defend in that shadow.
Oh, big block. Second time this time from Zhu Ting off the hands. Kept alive. Baladin. Free ball setter comes in. Pipe option for Li Ying. Gunish almost on the splits trying to get that ball.
You know what? Fair play to the middles who defend through the 5. That's where we get the biggest swings coming in, and that's where oftentimes that. Oh, you know what? She was close. Good for her. She put a touch on it, just not quite enough.
Over pass. Free chance for Chai to come back in. They're slowly creeping their way in, are they? Santorelli shifts himself out the way. Paladin with a nice swing. Has he got the touch? No. She's landed a bit funny as well.
Oh, I really thought that got the touch off the block. I think Paladin was hoping as well. She's going to need a second. This would be another big loss for Turkey if she can't continue. It does seem to be on that landing again. That left leg going down first and just taking a bit of an awkward glance.
Vargas, well, she's got next room for this one. She can't, it's too tight. Well, they all appeal to the referee. There's nothing to appeal about. The ball was over the net. It was an error on the second touch. And Shooting says, thank you very much.
A timeout call from Turkey as their lead has greatly diminished. They're up 16-13 in set 3.
When there is a calamity, remember it's better than fire, okay? And everybody go to cover. Before also have a safety situation. Also the attack. You attack from the front when the goal was low. Cover in front of the
We're looking at the space on the defense. And Turkey are holding. You can see there's that one-on-one block. She can go on the left or right. China back within 3. They was tied at 1 set all. Just a bit of treatment going on. Just in that timeout for Valadim. That awkward landing on the left leg.
I mean, she looks like she's holding it together well, but these players will go through anything to stay in these matches.
Some obvious discomforts as well. Vargas says, just give me the ball, I'll deal with it.
And you know what? It's a smart set from Shaheen to go out and find her on the right side, give Ballard a bit of a rest, but Vargas to come through this and just take all the pressure off.
Oh, that was a clever hit.
Ballard, give her a break, and that one going straight down. I think she whacks herself on the way through. Wouldn't want to be whacked, yeah.
Inside, Zhuting. And these Chinese combinations have really started to make
14-17.
And they're reacting quick enough to it.
Close one.
Go to the middle.
Yeah, Erdem, she's getting the hands up there, but it's not that full block reach that she can get. So the split kind of almost 3 meters. China are going to have a good advantage over that.
China keeping it interesting.
Ooh.
Good block.
That is. Well, I'll let Dave our announcer tell you what that was. That was an absolute bolster of a block. The captain, it wasn't even that strenuous for her, just a little move to the left-hand side.
17-15.
2 meters too. Precision timing. Slide attack. Well, the captain on both teams, leading by example.
You know what? Erdem had a really nice first set going into the second as well. She was a little bit quiet there near the end of the second, but she's come back out and doing amazingly.
Get back on that front row option. They've done her job defensively for her team. Push down the line. Vargas pulls it back. First time asking. Zhuting puts it away.
That was a good pull back from Vargas to actually get that ball up, because that could have been the end of the rally just there with that line shot. Not sure if Paladin would have picked that up or not, but unfortunately right back into the waiting hand of Zhuting. Not where you want the 3 ball to go.
Well, we're happy to see she's back for. Slide from the captain. Good pull back. Forced over as a free ball now. Comes in, Vargas from the back line.
Oh, yes.
Well, Gong was already down as the ball came flying over her head for the second touch.
Oh, and that's the worst. It feels like running in a dream where you just kind of see it going over your shoulder, but you can't quite get your body to respond to what you want to do. Santarelli won't mind. Celebrations as always from him.
The sequence of steep angles from Li Ying. As she drifts in court, that left hand is dangerous on the angle. Karaka hasn't had the best power game. Li Ying, the lefty, is flying right now. Top point scorer for China. Still 10 points behind Vargas, but she's the one that's the catalyst in closing the gap to 1 point game, 18-19.
18-19.
Over on 2. It's kept alive though.
Oh,
On the defense, the split drift over.
scrambled it, but still alive.
Yes, again. Light shot.
That is too good from Vargas, but you know what? Turkey, lucky to have her all pistons firing because the rest of Turkey not quite getting into rhythm. We're not really getting those big swings that we're used to seeing, and they can't really find the court against China. China's doing a really good job to convert, but Vargas having quite the game.
Clever play by Diao. Let the ball do the work, and just as it crossed the net, just took the direction off a little bit.
Yeah, and she tried to go for that big power one. Turkey were all over it through the middle, so it was very, very clever to just redirect, not go for the big swings.
Fascinating battle of tactical minds on Santarelli. Dive in. Head to head here. Karaka finally gets a big swing cross court. Into the corner at 5. And she's wasted a while.
This might just be opening up her confidence. Again, she's really leaning. She was contacting these swings really, really low coming through, and she wasn't getting any of the power that she usually does. That one looking a lot more like the character that we know.
She's adapted to her role on the outside now to try and work out how you get Karaka and Vargas in the same team at the same time. Big blocking, great work from Turkey at the minute. Third time we're lucky, but this card is still up. 4 block is off the hands again. Now they get a chance to attack. It's got to Vargas, and she's created a light shot out of far. Nothing.
How do you find this angle, Vargas? This is world class. It's set a little bit inside. She's falling away from it, gets her hand up, and that is beautifully on the line. My goodness. That's a very key point for Turkey as well. Back to a 3-point lead.
Good up from Karaka on the defense. Vargas. React. Come back. It has to come back from Ergay. Trying to go again. Goal. But she's going to come down the line. It takes something special for me, Ergay.
Well, that's a really clever one from Dong as well, because Urga just had to do an entire sprint of court to put that back through the antenna. She's barely gotten back into her spot. She tries to get a split step out, and I don't think that was a Turkish word that we just saw.
The language is multicultural, isn't it? Going around the world. Vargas, aggression, cross court. Good pullback. There's going to be a free ball. Anticipation of where this is going to go. We know, and we know the results.
Incredible from Vargas. She's holding it together mentally so well. When you're getting set as much as Vargas is getting set, it's really easy to kind of lose your focus, let some errors creep into it, but she is not doing that at all. She is on fire.
Vargas on 25 points, 59% hitting average, 118 points in total. She's currently scoring over 52% in the tournament. Incredible stats.
That's a key point for China. They are going to need to stick with this to stay within striking distance. The next point Turkey gets brings up set point. Maybe a bit of a missed contact through the middle for Wang, but she won't care. A point is a point.
Luke goes back off for Gunesh. Big serving sub coming on.
Hey Laura, how are you?
123.
I'm watching the volleyball quarterfinals at the moment. China against Turkey.
Here in Paris, no matter where you are around the world, it may be the same for you.
In the third set.
Crowd waiting and expecting Vargas. Well, it was hard for her to do anything on that first one. They kept her alive, and it's a shutout block.
That's a huge block from Yuan Jingyu. And to bring up
22-23.
Shutting down Vargas. You cannot ask for a better point for China at this point in the game.
I love the contrast.
Yeah, that was a good
That's
block.
really crazy. Big passionate celebrations. I've been cool as you like, just a little clap round. Yep.
And super back. No, but I'm happy, okay, so what we have to do is attack in this way, here from the opposition point. Okay? If there is the ball exclamatory rugby, now we play this one and super back. If there is the exclamatory situation, call immediately exclamatory situation. Okay? Be good!
Well, we're at the back end of the third set here. It's 22-23. So here come now, all guns blazing to start with. China having to chase right from the start. Vargas has been so influential in this set. 8 points for Vargas so far. Can she make it 9? Yes, she can. But also that means it's set point.
That is huge for Turkey. Deflecting blow off the block. They have 2 set points to work with. China gave them a run for their money last set. Turkey needs to shut it down early.
Oh, that's brilliant. So simple, but so good. Time and time again, for year after year, we've seen that.
Both sets of fans have been brilliant.
Containing the serve.
Oh.
Vargas from the backcourt. It allows that set to be opened up into the middle. Can find Yuan Jingyu, and she will put that away.
So close yet so far.
Still set point.
Which one?
Vargas is going to come on the backcourt.
It's Turkey and Turkey against China. Third and final set, Laura. 24-24 now.
Again, this is a win by 2, so you have to be 2 points clear. And if the team can't get 2 points clear, we'll just keep going back and forth.
China have crawled it back.
Chance here for China. Can they steal it? The left hand. America good in position to defend. Oh, Vargas! Well, little wild swing. The referee stand as well. Let's pick up our celebration.
That one from Parker was a key piece of defense, and it comes up to find Vargas again. She's through the block, and we're having a challenge called by China. They still have 2 challenges to work with, and
I think that would be the athletics.
So Vargas, a backcourt player.
I don't think I was screaming it, but
Fully behind that attack line. That line that you see 3 meters off the net on both sides is what we're talking about. And if any part of the toe touches any part of that line,
I probably mentioned Laura Mill, yeah.
But she is well clear of that attack line.
I think I've been knew that. It's just a virtual timeout.
Well, yeah, China has no timeouts left, and he's needed some time to chat with his team.
Vargas has led the way. There's another set point. Third one. Here in the third set is 3 the magic number. It's flat. Shootings come inside. It's not out right. Carrico, she gets a big swing. She's got a touch. And they lead by 2 sets to 1, 26-24.
Well, What a time for Carricker to put a swing away. She's leaning back, she's falling back, going for just the high fingertips of Diao Yuan, and that will do it. China took set 1, 25-23, but it's been Turkey took set 2, 25-21 and 26-24. Turkey up 2-1 going into the fourth set.
That hasn't quite finished. I thought that was the last set. Turkey are two sets to 1 up.
An exciting one, and it has certainly
26-24 they won that set.
Stats pretty similar across the board. China coming up with some good blocks, but Turkey some really good attacks. 22 from 42, and the vast majority of those have come from the Turkish star player Melissa Vargas. 15 points on the board for her in this third set alone. And while Turkey have taken the lead 2-1, 26 points to 24.
If Turkey win the next set, they've won the game. Pretty sure.
So plenty of other events happening simultaneously. Every single moment captured on Discovery Plus or Max, depending on your territory. On the rise, it's the women's 1,500 meters. We have plenty more athletics to come later today as well. 15 gold medal events in total on offer. In the athletics, it's the women's hammer throw final, the men's long jump final. Later today, the men's 1,500 meters final as well. Steeplechase. And the women's 200 meter final. All of those gold medal events, all of them captured on Discovery Plus or Max, depending on your territory. And hasn't it just been a fantastic Olympic Games? Triumph and despair, but that's what it's all about. And these guys, deep in competition, playing for a spot in the semi-finals, in which they'll face either Italy or Serbia. Turkey, the team leading at the moment, 2-1, so work for the Chinese players to do. Let's get back to the action.
The light show here. China now trailing 2-1. Again, Carricker has the ball in hand, ready to serve. It's a huge crowd here. They know a win takes them to the semi-final and potentially a medal match. So here gets underway with Carricker down the line on the serve. Vargas, into the block it goes. First point goes to China.
Well, Vargas had quite the third set, bringing Turkey up 2 sets.
I'm hoping
She won't be too upset about
Turkey
so
win the
early
set
on
in the game. Then I can take the dog out before the skateboarding.
Left hand while leaning in.
Well, I'll take the dog out before the skateboarding anyway. It's just I want to see the end of this before that.
Santorelli shifts out way quickly as Erguez chased that ball down.
And Turkey have been in a very similar position with China before in the BNL of this year. They were up 2-0, and they lost to a China reverse sweep. That will be fresh in their minds coming into this fourth set.
Great set coming in from Shaheen out wide. She took it down so low. The ball was always flat. Holiday with a lovely swing through the hands. They get their first point on the board in this fourth set. Oh, she drops it short. Gunesh has got the ace. The celebration.
This has been working really well for Turkey, and the serve that just drops, no spin on it, just a flat net ball.
Sorry, she says. She goes into a team. Shoulder part. Okay, defensive specialist in the black will come on. Harika on the receive. Vargas kept alive by Li Ying. Actually, delivered a really good ball for China to attack into. They go again. This time, switch of the play. And Gong looks through the net to celebrate.
China in set 2 and 3 couldn't really get off the back and put some points on the board early on, but in set 4, very different look. They're up 4-2, and Gong with some spice.
Ricocheting it through the hands. Shooting. Well, she's got like two-step approach, hasn't she? And wait for the hand and goes, right, I'm not going to jump too high. I'm going to hit them.
Yeah, just beautiful from Zhu Ting, going off the hands of Erdem. Always going to go for that high shot through the cross, not wanting to go through that line with Vargas there.
Well, Vargas comes in. That's another shot-out block. That's 2 from 2 for Vargas. Now, Vargas on these positions, making cross-court. She has had that line a few times. What does she change here in their attack? So much expectation on the shoulder of Vargas. China lead by 4. This is set 4. They now lead by 5. It's an ace serve. Harika is likely to defy here on this back line for Deacon.
This is definitely not the start that Turkey were looking for. They looked nice and strong and in system in set 2, set 3. It wasn't really a question of if China was going to come back into it. But now in set 4, China, completely different look to them. They're playing with lots of confidence. They're looking the same as they did in set 1.
China dominating this set.
China team that can cause some problems for Turkey.
Early still as well, so once that rotation is done and Carrico comes back on, she'll have to stay on for the rest of the set on the back line. China will be quite happy with that. They go again out wide, shooting again, just waiting and watching. Baladin. It keeps going, shooting, changes it up. Good pull back from Deacon. Baladin shoots the table. Well, whatever Kai Min said.
Dramatic stuff.
Tears are ready from Ergo. She has worked so hard this game.
That was a lovely one to lay
Sort
out.
of got in each other's way.
Taped up as well. And when she laid out for that, she ended up elongating that arm and rolling over that same shoulder that's taped up. Can't be feeling too good right now.
Joshua coming in for Baladin. So 2 changes on a relatively inexperienced service team.
Making the sub,
That's
Turkey.
a nice passing, and it gets the middle of the way with the captain. New confidence booster for Deacon and Chebachulu. Vargas from the back line. For a while, her third set, she was dominant. She struggled so far here in the early stages of set 4.
It's interesting what can happen to Turkey with just one player not playing to the level that they were in the previous set. You can see the nervousness creeping in, their shoulders getting up a little bit high.
Well, do you know what? While Marcus isn't scoring, they'll just go, oh no, we'll go to her then. I mean, she scored four in her first set through the middle. They go, let's just bring a captain back into play.
This one's called out through the back, but there's clearly a touch off of Wang.
I thought that's both it and Taylor as well.
But you know what? They can't challenge that, and there's no replay that they can see for a defending touch. And China get away with murder on this set.
Great up. Shooting, waiting, watching. Vargas from the back line gets her first point of the fourth set. Now they need to find that right arm firing again from Vargas. Nearly 100 kilometers an hour, that swing.
Santorelli knows exactly how key that is for his big opposite hitter. Getting back into the swing of things.
Right serve. Chalut. Juting. He can push down the line. The back line coming in from Li Ying. Free ball coming. It's cat mouse game. What's going on here? While the block went.
Good hit.
And that meant Juting, the experience, the superstar that she is, delivers.
She knew she would have space in that cross court. And Urga as well is kind of coming into that cross, and so she fires it even sharper into the cross over the left shoulder of Urga. Excellent swing, and that puts China up 11-4 in set 4.
Ronnie came up at 24.3 seconds. Doesn't sound long, but you see how many transitions and how much movement's going on. China put the pressure on. Again, just making error after error and not able to score. They find themselves down by 8 points into the timeout. 12-4. Well, at this stage in the competition, this is where we find out which team they're coming in with now. What's their mindset like after that game against Italy? And she said it wasn't their best one. And here they find themselves down by 8 points, leading in the game by 2-1. Also, China have been solid this whole game. Vargas from the back line, halfing it down. Left out of Li Ying, she can.
And what a massive point coming out of a Turkish timeout as well. This is 9 points up for China now. No matter what stage of the game you're at, 9 points up is a big lead. Turkey are going to struggle to come back into it in set 4. Might already be looking to a fifth.
One swing comes off the hands of the block and goes out of play. Well, they need to not look at the scoreboard and just focus on the next point that's in charge of them. They're in control of the service line with their captain. And I need to defend the slide attack, but that is pretty undefendable.
Yuan Xinyu absolutely cracking this one across 1v1. And that one landing on the attack line in the pot, as if a block wasn't even there.
10 years leading this team. Just clip to take. The call and working his magic here in the fourth set. Yeah, fire that one onto Juting. Left hand of Li Ying. This block, they just can't seal this block together, and the outsides are having a field day for China.
And Lee not only finding that backboard, but getting extra tips on the way as well. Lee is absolutely on fire.
China in cruise control.
15-6.
Guinness pushing. John rolling that one short on Vargas. She's going to be out of position, but gets herself quickly into position to put it away. She needs a couple of little sets to open up that court. First point in the set for Vargas. Basically, put it a metre and a half high, a metre and a half in, and let her put it away. That's the rule, isn't it? Late serve. Combination coming in again, opposite on that crossover. Free ball. Same again. Well, we did it right the first time. We'll try to get it to it once. Keep going, keep going.
And that first pickup was so good from Urga as well. Turkey need to convert those into points because you're not going to get a second chance at that. As China show you, they go for that same combo. And this one from Gom, away off hands.
Oh, it's in the tape for triple over. It's a serve for China. Everything is going their way. 10 points. Oh, a miracle this is going to 5.
They always say the net bench can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And it does feel like it picks and chooses its teams. And right now, it's China's best friend.
Okay, nice ball in Vargas. Well, she starts. The potential comeback. Gunesh back to serve. That brings the captain back on front court. 3 front court attackers for Turkey here. And they take advantage. Oh, shooting has come inside. The combinations China are playing are incredible right now.
I mean, to keep a team like Turkey to 8 points when they're at 18 is just ridiculous. Zhu Ting was brought in really, really far on this set. A lot of people are tempted to turn it back to the line where you think you have more space, but she made the right choice, cracking it short.
Right up. Aggressive swing through the middle. First point in the game for Gemma Chu, the 23-year-old who's come in and stepped in the outside positions alongside Deakin. The experience of Baladin and Karakurt. Santorelli plays every single touch of every single point, doesn't he? Dug out. Big block.
Good block.
Well, she's back-to-back points.
I mean, that'll be enough to bring them up to 8 points back. But Turkey are going to need far more of those big momentum swinging points to come back into this match. And what they'll be looking to do here through the end of set 4.
Could the comeback be on for Turkey
5.
in this set?
I guess. I haven't got the rhythm yet in a serve in this set. That's lovely. That's huge swing.
Good hit.
Not phased at all in her Olympic debut. Grew up through the junior age groups, now part of the national squad. She's made a really big impact in the last 3 points.
And that one's hard onto Lee, and she's taking it like a champ. But again, these are being struck at almost 100 kilometers an hour, the speed of a ball on the motorway. And that one taking a glancing blow off the floor. That does not feel good.
Chalou has put her hand up to apologise. As the sporting spirit maintains itself here in Paris. Almost an ace serve. It is an ace serve. Well, the unlikely hero coming out in this 4th set is the 23-year-old Nuria Chevalou. There's the movement from the captain on that slide. That 1 foot to take off. Out of the hips, the chest on the attack. Oh, the gap 7. Another slide attack, but taken well this time. Well, the points just start to build. There's a response coming from Turkey.
They're 6 points back now. There's potentially some time for them to get back into this. They'll have to go 2 for every one of China's points just to break even before 25. But again, it's all about that momentum going forward.
Inside, go shooting, error.
Well, there's a big string of points for Turkey. And after a 10-point lead for China, they've halved it. They're only up by 5 now.
There's a belief back in the team in white and red. There's errors coming out of this game from China. There's going to be a challenge here.
So China are looking for a block touch on the way through. Turkey being very quiet about it if there was one. No one coming forward to admit it.
I've been using this almost as another timeout. No, there's no
Oh,
touch
there's daylight between those fingertips. Unfortunate error from Zhu Ting, and yet Haibin only has the 1 timeout left, so he's going to use this challenge time as a timeout instead. As is Santorelli, both these teams chatting it up on the sideline. Again, if Turkey can win this 4th set, come from behind and take it, they will book their ticket to the semifinal. If China win, we are going to a 5th tie-breaking set to 15 points.
Well, there'll be a comeback of all comebacks if they can come back from 10 down in the 4th. The way they've been playing, the way China were playing, they've just switched roles, haven't they? The confidence is up for Turkey. China making errors. There's no touch there. Called it. There's daylight. Well, we have to open the official rule though, but good reading, Kennedy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm looking up, obviously, the replay that the crowd here in the stadium didn't get to see.
No, we have the technology up here.
So here, have the skills, they've shown that. As do China. They've kept it alive. Off the hands. There's another point going away. It's now only 3. China are tighter in the way they're playing. Snatching at balls.
What a swing of points for Turkey, and they're keeping mentally very, very focused.
Oh, still alive.
China finally get the side out.
China needed that.
Finally is right. China were up
2016.
19-10 not 5 minutes ago, and now it's 20 serving 16.
I think the game could change. Just the 1 point to shift that momentum. The block is there again. Diao's getting a hand on it, just the outside hand, she can't get it back into play.
And Deacon is playing excellent through the outside. She's come on in this 4th set and just made it her own. She's working off the block. She's building up those points. Almost had a block of her own, but that one just deflected wide. So we'll stay 4 points back, but China need 4 points to win it. And they are suddenly struggling.
Change coming in there. Sub change. Down for the serve. There's a bit of a problem for Turkey. Something they can't handle. There's a touch Off the new player has just gone in to the referee. Now it's a 3-point game.
All it takes is an ace or a brace, and Turkey is suddenly back in it.
Ace for a brace. Let's see what it comes up with them.
It's all race.
That's the left hand of the Yang Yang. Defended it from straight over. Slide attack. Good block.
Oh, good block.
Vargas has come to the
Oh.
China were doing that to Vargas at the start of this set. Now, roles have been reversed.
And
Yeah,
Turkey
Vargas getting
a
into it more.
comeback. China going to call another timeout. They're ahead, but they're only ahead 21-19 in set 4.
Those points on the bottom there. The track 12-19. This is a huge comeback. 2 points down.
Oh, brilliant.
With deafening sounds of the Turkey and Chinese supporters here urging their team on. 2 very proud nations. 3 the difference, 3 required for China to take it to 5.
That's huge from Wang to make this one count. That serve into the seam, well taken by Gong. And she puts it past the block of Deacon. 3 points ahead now, China.
Diao back to serve. Big net for China. Vargas is front court again. They dig it out from underneath the net. And he goes straight into Gunesh and Vargas again. Well, it's a 6-point for Gunesh.
Gunesh and Vargas, between them, they're just both under 2 meters tall, but the vertical on both of them is intense. You cannot make your way past this easily. China finding that out here at the bottom of set 4.
Interesting, that was Gunesh's first block of the game. South Rally asking for a bit of calm. It's always on the big screen, just seeing the replays, watch what's going on. He's going to now see Li Ying go back to serve. Left hand. Oh, it's an ace serve from Li Ying. He won't want to look at the screen again and watch that one back at all. We do.
What a time for it. And again, it's that dropping serve, hardly a rotation in it, and just dropping short into the seam. 4 set points for China to push this to a 5th set.
Li Ying. Dig it out. That's a good comeback. Delia Jebachalu. Well, since she's come on, she's had a really good run of points.
And this transition as well, she takes the pass and then immediately gets her feet out nice and wide. The block for China is spread out completely over the net, so she just has the 1v1 to contend with. But it's now Gunesh on the baseline for Turkey at 3 points back.
We're going to 5. Santorelli, you can't play that ball, sir.
Okay, going to a 5th set, which I might have to watch later. Okay, I'm going to take the dog out. Oh, better get that.
China took set 1, but it was Turkey taking set 2 and 3. They were all over it. And China, from the start in set 4, were on fire. They take set 4, 25-21.
No, I'm fine. I'm just going to take the dog out.
Well, that was nearly one of the best comebacks of all time for Turkey. China really quick out of the blocks in that 4th set. Some real energy from them.
Can do. I mean, she's already said she probably won't
look
come home.
in comparison to how they're played in the previous set. Whatever Kai Bin said at that set break clearly worked. However, the Turks, well, they did attempt to make a comeback at one point. They were within 2 points.
Okay.
And Deakin came on in the fourth for Turkey, really brought the energy.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
Okay, yeah, no problem.
it was the Chinese with the win. So this match will go to a fifth and deciding set. Everything on the line. So much at stake.
All right, speak soon. Okay, fine.
A spot in the semi-finals of the women's volleyball competition at the South Paris Arena. Now this is the type of volleyball that all of these spectators and supporters have come to see. So much energy from within the spectator stands. A pretty partisan crowd. It's not a particular favourite. Lots of Chinese fans, lots of Turkish fans as well. So the first quarter-final of the men's basketball event is also happening. Germany playing against Greece. You can see the stand starting to fill up there as well. So many events happening across the board at the Olympic Games. Every moment streams on Discovery Plus or Max, depending on your territory. So let's get back to the action. So much more excitement to come from the South Paris Arena. Let's get to it. A fifth set.
A race to 15. And the prize, a place in the semi-final of the Olympic Games, is the People's Republic of China on the right-hand side in red. 7 will receive. The team will change ends. So the first team that gets 8 points here in this deciding set. Just for some fair use on both sides of the court. Strap yourself in. Here we go. Vargas. Hard ground at the first time. It's tight. The left hand of Li Yingying. Deakin comes up. She stays on to start with.
And Deakin, another substitute that came out and proved herself, completely shifted the momentum in that fourth set and almost got Turkey back into it. She comes out and gets the first point for her side.
Deakin go back to serve. Part of the 2023 gold-winning VNL squad. Li Yingying makes the angle.
Deakin just short to pick this one up. Deading the ball as it hit the floor and her hands. The lead back to the old tricks, through the block and into the shadow.
She was part of the 2016 competition, played in 2020. Now, the leading player for her country in the Olympic Games here in Paris. Vargas rolling over and cameraman didn't really flinch. Vargas comes crashing over the boardings.
The second contact from Shahid didn't quite come back into court the way it needed to. And Vargas, again, you have to play that ball between the antenna and across that net. You got 9 meters to work with, but the further out wide you are, the more difficult of an angle it becomes, and it's China up 2-1.
Cameraman didn't take his focus off Vargas on that collapse. Leading it into the net. 2-all. Penny for the thoughts of the two coaches right now. So much on the line. Oh, it's a massive block. Vargas has tried to turn that down the line. The shooting, the returning shooting.
That was a lovely pickup from Gunesh in that one position defending. Vargas gets her thumb down and tries to find more space, but goes right into the arms of Zhu Ting.
Reaction when that ball hit her hand, she knew where that was going. And again, it's a back-to-back blocks. This time, it's Gong Zhengyu.
Not one of the bigger players, only 189 centimeters tall, but she can get up nice and high on these blocks, and her timing is to perfection.
Goes to Vargas. Zhu Ting has to take this ball off the net. It's a free ball coming over though. 3 options available. There's a chase down coming here. It's pulled in. Going to be another free ball for China. The captain's running fast. Zhu Ting comes inside. Great defense in the end. Vargas, can they steal it? They can!
Beautiful. There was a look from Shaheen. There's a look to China's side, and she saw Zhu Ting on the floor. And she's going to go right out to Vargas, knowing there's not going to be a block down that line. Vargas knows it just as well. Easy point. Well, easy for that contact. The rest was pretty difficult.
Wen Xingyue saw the gap, and she tried to get it across. This is the game so far for Vargas. Can she find her form? Keeps it in. Zhu Ting can't ground it. Vargas, she can. And she gets the point. It is in. There was a delay there as the referee looked down at his tablet to see had that caught the line before he made his signal. Dramatic pause.
And this is something that we can't challenge because we have the cameras always checking on these lines. Any part of that ball touches the line, it's in. And we know this is in. That one just clipping the line, and Sandrella, you're absolutely right. Wipe the sweat off the brow. It's a tense one.
Well, Turkey, that's going to be angry at this point. It's gone out of play. It seemed like there was a bit of a hole from both teams at the net. The referee was happy with it. There's this bit here. Well, the captain has pushed it into the block. It's not the cleanest, but Vargas on the pipe attack down the middle. So effective so far in this game. This one, no attack offered. Vargas goes back out to 10. Taking on 2.
Possibly her heart might have caught in her throat when she just put a 2-ball over and found arms. She's so lucky this one snuck through the arms of Yuan. Oh my goodness. But it does, and it falls into the pot, and we're tied at 5s.
Karaka comes in. Deacon goes off. A little bit more height on the block, and also character, the passion of Karaka. That had value to this team is kept alive. Karaka has a swing. It's in. Vargas backcourt. China doing everything they can to keep this ball alive.
Oh, man.
They can't.
Well, if Turkey have Vargas and Karaka on court, both of them putting swings down, China are in big trouble.
The one thing that Turkey have also done is they've got that defense working again. They're keeping the ball alive. That's allowing them to have their swings.
All right. Good guess. All right. Good guess.
然后你打前面的话，注意一下节奏，先起来人先倒，对处理过来的话，节奏不要去再看球，高点安定。
A race to 15, a place in the semi-finals. Guaranteed a medal match. Get gold or bronze. This is why this game is so important here in the quarterfinal stage. On the wrong side of the 15-point target here. And you go home. Flat ball in. Shooting. Again, trying to can't ground it. Tight on the net. There was a net touch there on the second touch from Diao. It was so tight for her.
Unlucky for China at this. She's sailing into that netting. She tries her best to get low and not touch it. Turkey get away with a key point. Santarelli sees they've lost it on the defense, but then sees the net touch fall. And the change in reaction is picture perfect.
Well, change coming in here. Shooting goes off. Blue comes on. And that change held towards the service area, just a delay.
That one from Baladin just never seemed to drop. It almost seemed to lift as it came to the end of its serve. It's drifting out the back. It's 6 serving 7. It's the substitute now that has to serve.
Moving change. Wide to Carricker. Libero keeps it alive. Li Yingying with an angle.
Right.
Such a challenge to qualify.
And let's introduce the athletes now. Yosuzumi Sakura, the Olympic champion.
And we've got Bryce Wetstein, who is an interpretive dancer of sorts on her skateboard.
And from Spain, the 19-year-old Julia Benedetti.
And we have, representing the host country of France, Emily Alexandre, grew up skating the varsity bowl.
And from Japan, Hiraki Kokona, world ranked #1.
And we've got Kusaki Hinano, also known as the Demoness because of her power and
Hey,
style.
Kashi. You can watch it on Discovery Plus or Max, depending on your territory. It might be on BBC, I'm not sure. You've got BBC iPlayer, but they don't have as much as Discovery.
45 seconds. And you want to use as much of the course as you can. And you want to look good.
Okay.
So here we go with the first skateboarder in heat 1.
Wow, starting off with a back 3 over the box, right into a saran wrap in the deep end. She goes fast, and she is a powerful skater. Right there, gapping off the hip onto the spine wall. And there, she's gapping over frontside air. Nice little saran grab, Lena tail, backside air, back off the extension. The way that she's traveling through the course is something that the judges are really going to appreciate. And just there, she was spinning in the opposite direction which she was traveling, which is known as alley-oop. And unfortunately, just under-rotated a little bit. So this is going to be a throwaway for her, but she'll have 2 more chances to put down a full run.
Started off nicely, though.
And that's saran wrap right there, too. frontside air, transferring over. Right here, that was the alley backside air. Maybe landed a little bit high. Thought she might have clipped, but.
So first scoring, it's a 44. We're looking for scores up in the high 70s, low 80s to be safe in that top 8. Next up, it's Hiraki Kokoda. Hiraki won the silver medal last time out in Tokyo. World ranked number 1.
Number 1 ranked.
Get a clean run down. Looking to maybe put a safety run in first.
That's right. Skaters typically will start with a run that they know they can land just so that they have a score to fall back on. But when you're in the Olympic Games, you might not really want to waste any time on a safety run. Right there, she started off on the rail, which is just going to make her stand out. And then the beautiful backside tail slide. Nice in the air over the hip.
Oh, brilliant.
Smith on the setback wall. Already making really great use of these special features in this course. It's not typical to have a rail or to have a spine like that. Smithing over it right there. Nice lean to tail on the deep end. Stalefish frontside disaster. The way she smacks her board on the coping is something that all skaters love to see. Nice in the air over the jump box. Keeping her speed.
And that is time.
Definitely a really good run. I mean, she used the course really well. She was really technical in her trick selection, ended off on a really stylish 5-0 to fakie, just showing how much board control she has.
How much more do you think she has in the tank?
Oh, she's got plenty in the tank, but I mean, by no means would I call that a safety run. For her, it might be pretty safe. But I think that's going to score pretty well.
Impressive stuff.
Because of how well she used the course.
Wait the scores. This one may take a while because with the 3 Japanese in this first heat, this is going to set the standard for pretty much the whole of the competition for the prelims. Judges don't want to go too high too soon, but it's an 85.04. Great score to get things underway from Hiraki Kokoda, and that could be good enough. Next up from France, the 18-year-old Emily Alexander.
She was raised in the legendary Prado Bowl of Marseille. You may have seen it in video games such as Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and that has really shaped her into a great park skater, starting off with a body barrel tail grab on the extension. Nice backside air, transferring over the hip, right into a frontside air. Oh, board sliding the rail and keeping her speed, feeble through the corner. That was a really good use of that line going from that corner into that hip as well. Mixing it up with a nose grab on that backside air. And she 50-50'd off of the ledge into the transition. Front feeble over the spine, right into a frontside tail slide. Shaping up to be a really good run for Emily, and a backside curl slide to boot. That is a great showing for Emily Alexander. And you hear the hometown crowd so proud of her.
Yeah, great performance from Emily Alexander. Herself in the mix. We'll look at some of the replays using that rail.
And then right here, feebling through the corner. And using this feature too to ollie off into the transition. The judges are really going to appreciate that.
So it's a combination of lip tricks, of the rail. Emily Alexander, 72.13.
That is a great score to start off your Olympic career with.
So up next from Spain, it's Julia Benedetti, 19-year-old, out of A Coruña, the northwest tip of Spain.
Nice, starting off with a backsmith. So it looks like what happened there, the concrete might be pretty grippy. And the way that she was trying to shuffle out of that backsmith, she might have just stuck a little bit. That's always so hard to come back from a first wall bail. But the backsmith, it looked so nice the way that she started it. Very stylish trick. Luckily, she'll have 2 more goes at it.
Yeah, so your run is over if you bail, and a 4.33.
Julia did say that she loves to skate primarily for fun. She never wants it to feel like an obligation.
Up next from the USA is Bryce Wexstein. Bryce, a very accomplished skater and so unusual bag of tricks.
She's like watching freestyle jazz in motion. She just flows through the course. Seems like in a stream of consciousness type fashion. Doesn't really plan her runs like the rest of her field does, which just leads to some lovely surprises. Unfortunately, just came off on that back 50 right there, but she will have 2 more chances. But she might just continue skating anyway because that's kind of her style.
So a couple more chances to clean that run up. Saw her, bumped into her yesterday.
That's right. She was having dinner and she bought a burger and she bought sushi and she put the sushi inside of her burger.
Brilliant.
But that's not weighing her down today. Oh, right there. Her front truck just came off on that back 50.
So 21, but 2 more chances to put down a complete run. Wow, from Japan, it is reigning Olympic champion Yosasumi Sakura, 22 years old, just outside Osaka.
Starting off with the backside air, transferring into the deep end. Oh my gosh, doing a varial fast plant, almost coming off there. Nice.
Whoa.
Maybe alley-ooping it a little bit.
Impressive.
Kicking her foot off on that judo. She's such a technical skater. She's really done so much to progress this field. Right there. Going from lip to Smith to lip to Smith and then right into a backside tail slide. Putting together a full run here. Nice board slide on the rail. Ending with a back 3 ollie. Pushing through that grippy concrete. Anytime you're landing to fakie, that's also going to get you some more points. Or doing airs without grabbing your board. She's going to be really relieved having put that one down.
A good start from Yosasumi Sakura, and she's such a relaxed skater to watch. So stylish.
And this heel flip bendy, alley-ooping it a little bit. That's going to definitely do a lot for your score. Anytime you're flipping your board, it really makes you stand out. Back 3, just kind of forcing the rest of that turn on that grippy concrete, making it work.
Of the season.
So have a quick look at the leaderboard.
Japan dominating.
85. That first run, that is probably going to be good enough, you would think, to qualify already for the top 8.
It's hard when you're in the heat 1.
So we have Kosaki Hinano will start things off with run number 2. Needs to clean this up.
Starting off with a big backside 360 over the box, right into a saran wrap. Getting some speed. Nice backside ollie. Certainly skates faster than the rest of this group. She's got a lot of power behind her tricks. Nice backside air. Yeah, back over that hip. Oh, there it is. Clipped a tiny bit on that alley backside air over the hip, but she's still going right
Whoa. Oh.
Just under rotated a tiny bit. That's going to be a really powerful run. She's got 1 more chance to put it down.
Kosaki really does love the 540. And if she can get it in to the end of this run, it's going to be a big score.
We first saw her, she submitted a video part to the Exposure 2021 competition, just blew everyone away the way that she skated, her power, her bag of tricks, and her style behind the way that she does these tricks. Hopefully she can put it all together here and get into that top 8.
Qualified to the Olympic Games in Budapest at the Olympic Qualifier Series, knocked out her teammate Hasegawa. And Kusaki, 52, she's got one more chance to clean things up. Hiraki Kokona lying in first place on that 85.04. She's going to try and boost that score now.
I think she would be smart too. There's still a whole field of skaters to come. So she started off with that Smith on the rail, going to a front nose drive through the corner. Very technical trick selection. Gapping up to that Smith on the setback wall. Nice backside nose grind on the vert wall there. Beebling over that spine, going right into the deep end for Lena tail. And a nice stalefish disaster. Anytime you're landing in disaster, it's named that for a reason. If you fail to clear your wheels back over the coping, the slam is a brutal one. Wow.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow. What a beautiful way to end her run right there. She went onto the setback wall. She did a wall ride, and then she ollied out. You have to have such quick feet to make that work.
She has boosted this performance, and this will better the 85.
Some real flair.
My mistake, she started with a feeble on the rail. Here's the Smith, though, gapping up to it.
Well, she's known as the nose grind master.
Nice lean to tail, smacking that tail on the coping. But that was so well done. Definitely going to boost her score on that run.
So it was an 85, and it's moved up to an 88.07. Hiraki Kokona has just seen it. She's looking comfortable. Next up, it's Emily Alexandra for France, looking to improve on a 72.13. That was a clean run, and she boosted it.
She's got the crowd to back her. What a wonderful thing to have a crowd. The last time we skated this event, the stands were empty, and the skaters are really appreciating having the support of these people, rooting them on, believing that they can do it. That really does a lot for you. Nice, Emily grabbing around the knee on that front side air, eagling through the corner, and then going for that lean to tail over the hip. Nice nose grab. 50-50 transferring in. Skating that Prado bowl really gives her a great advantage in terms of use of course, because it's such a challenging, gritty bowl to skate that you can see her applying all of her tricks here. Anytime you're skating a park course, you're completely having to readapt your skating, as they're all very, very different. But putting together two full runs here in front of her.
Solid.
Yeah, the crowd go wild for Emily. Another good run from the skater from Marseille.
Forward sliding the rail, right into a feeble grind through the corner. Emily showing that she's got a deep bag of tricks, knows how to use a course to its full potential.
So we wait for the score for run 2 for Emily Alexandra, and it's a 72.94, so it's slight improvement on that first run score. Next up, from Spain, is Julia Benedetti. Well, she came off on that backslip, and she nailed it this time.
Oh, there it is, and it was worth the wait. It was so well executed.
Oh, dear.
Unfortunately, just missing that in-air transfer. Once again, every time you skate one of these park courses in competition, it's different. So you have to readapt all of your tricks and you have to learn how to link them. Just going from point A to point B is a trick within itself, having to navigate your speed, having to land each trick clean.
How does this park differ from the one that you skated in Tokyo?
I would say this one's quite a bit smaller. The Tokyo park was not only bigger as in taller, but it was way more expansive, so a lot more line opportunities. And this one's a little bit more condensed, so you really have to land everything well.
Bryce, wet style. Can she put a clean run down? Full run. Drop it in.
She's been putting down full runs her whole life. We've seen her skate in the exposure event since she was 7 years old, all the way back in 2012. And she certainly knows how to put it down when it counts. There she is flowing through, cleaning up that back 50 that got away from her last time. And the fast plant on the vert extension. Keeping her speed. Oh, transferring off the hit. Right there, getting that lean to tail. Lip sliding into the deep end. Judo air. 50-50, pulling it to fakie on that sticky concrete, right into a cavalarial. And then ollie over the box. Still keeping it going right there. Bryce pulling it together here.
Yeah, he did it. Well done, Bryce.
There's her sister Summer and her mom Donna. I'll take it.
Oh, Bryce, well, there's some unusual tricks in there.
That's right, and true Bryce fashion. She put it all together, and this transferring tail grab. There's a little channel there, you can't quite see it, but I have to gap over it to make that right there. The Weddle fast plant. And then doing the lip slide, taking that into the deep end, into a judo, kicking that foot off. Right there, that was after time, but definitely a very unique trick to throw into your run and might have counted 75.
75.22. Well, it's a good score. Sitting in third place. Next up, it's Yosusumi Sakura, the Olympic champion.
She is such a technical skater. She's had a ton of injuries this qualifying season. She's looking a lot stronger now, trying to get into that top 8. Doing the fast plant varial right there. Front Smith into the deep end. Oh, that heel flip Indy. Yeah. Anytime you're flipping your board, there's so many variables. It has to flip all the way around. It's got to flip near your hand so that you can grab it. And then your feet have to be ready to ride away.
Well, she's currently on that 79.70. This will not be an improvement, obviously, because she failed in the first quarter of the run. And I'm not sure if 79 is going to be right on the bubble. No, it's the top 8 that go through all of these heats.
Showing you that kickflips are hard, even if you're an Olympic champion. Things don't always go as planned in skateboarding.
So we are having a quick look at the scores after run 2, and it is Hiraki Fukuda that is comfortably in the lead. With that 88, you would think that's easily good enough to go into the top 8. And we'll come back to the top. And it is Kazaki Hirano dropping in, needs to get a clean run in, a full run.
She's a multiple-time Japanese park champion, which is an incredibly tall order in one of the most competitive countries. Nice backside call that shows so much power and control. Frontside air, looking strong, doing that strand wrap, lead the tail. Backside air over the hip into the pocket. There's the outing up to land, that's really clean that time. Frontside grind into the deep end, go right into the 540, and she makes it. Beautiful rock and roll on the vert wall. She's just got to stay on now. Nice frontside feeble through the corner.
She's done it. You've got to think that is going to be a good enough score to go through to the top 8.
We'll wait to see what the judges make of it, but she'll have done no better than that on run 3.
That's got to be at least in the high 80s. There was so much power. There was great trick selection. Anytime you're spinning 540s, you're certainly going to stand out, especially grabbing the backside. A nice saran wrap. Good use of the course. Looking very, very strong for the finals here.
Well, she left it to the third run to produce the score. And we're thinking that anything in the mid to high 80s will be enough to go through. You just don't know. Drawing number 1 in heat 1 was always going to be a tough position to start.
And that front feeble, it's such a technical grind. You got to lap that front truck over. Make sure you don't clip on the way in.
And the score is 85.11 in second place. And she is super happy with that. Well, the current leader, Iraqi Kakuna, can she improve on the 88?
Starting off with that feeble. Beautifully executed front nose grind through the corner. So technical. Nice in the air over the hip. Oh, just missing the gap up to Smith. The thing to appreciate about Coconut is all of the technicality and precision that she puts into her tricks.
She actually comes from a place near to Niseko, which is legendary for the powder snow that it gets in the wintertime on the Hokkaido island of Japan. And her mother, Minako, actually named her Kokona after a coconut because she wanted to be reminded of warmer countries. We're definitely going to see Kokona going through in the top 8, and we'll see more of her later today. Emily Alexandra trying to improve on that 72.
Already puts together some great runs here. A beautiful way to start her Olympic career. Rolling in for extra speed, starting off with that body barrel tail grab on the vert extension. Nice backside air over the hip. Right into a frontside air, grabbing tuck knee. Forward sliding. Right under feeble grind. Right there, transferring up with that lean to tail. Coming off on that judo over the hip, and there she 50-50s. Has to ollie out of it to get into that pocket. And the front feeble over the spine. If there's one thing you learn skating the Marseille Bowl, is how to skate
Looking
spine
good.
as well. And then ending with the back creel right there. Can she fit in another trick? Right after time. But putting together a third full run in front of her.
Yeah, very consistent.
Well appreciated.
From Emily.
3 runs completed. Can't do any better than that.
There was the upgrade right there. Her kicking her foot off. Instead of a nose grab, she turned it into a judo. Anytime you put together a full run, it's certainly a victory within itself, at least a personal victory.
Well, you know that you've done your best, you've performed your best. And it's a 73.48. It is an improvement. 3 runs down for Emily Alexandra. She will have to wait and see whether that's good enough to go through to the top 8. Now, next up from Spain is Julia Benedetti.
Okay. Yeah, it's worth checking out. Kimura, it's quite a fun little slasher.
There we go, transferring over the hip. Nice front nose grind, grabbing the tail.
I've seen the first 3.
It's so stylish.
First 2 are solid fun. I remember 3 not being so good, but probably worth checking out just to complete those 3. And then they did a 4th one years later, which I haven't seen.
Backside over the hip, right into a backside grind, set up for the deep end.
Whoa.
Yes, I do the corner, and there she does it. Puts together a full run.
Excellent stuff from Julia Benedetti.
So smooth.
She must have been on after those first two early fails in run 1 and 2 to land it. Huge sigh of relief.
There's so much technicality in park skating that you might not think about. Every trick you have to land clean because you have to maintain your speed, pump out of it, and get to the next trick. And you have to flow through the entire course, so you're not just doing a trick, but you're thinking about how will that trick get you from point A to point B and B to the next trick. It's a lot to think about.
The score is a 70.27 for Benedetti. Next up from the USA is Bryce Wettstein, looking to improve on that 75.22.
Every time she drops in, we'll be sure to see something new and unique, flowing through the course like no other.
Jumping in, here we go. What has Bryce got for us?
Starting off with a nose blunt, very technical trick, tough way to start your run. Here she is working up her speed to gap up the lip slide over the channel and up onto the vert wall. Already looking like a stronger run for Bryce. Nice fast plant, grab the Weddle. Coached by none other than Willie Santos, who is a legend in skateboarding. Oh, doing the Madonna, but going to disaster. Every time you go to disaster, it is so technical, especially off of Madonna. You got to land with your front foot back on the nose. Right there, the Caballero, named after Steve Caballero, faking 360 ollie, no grab. Oh, doing the lean judo at the end there, putting it together.
A great run from Wettstein.
Summer, her little sister, cheering louder than anyone for her right there.
Looking to boost that 75.22 was definitely an increase in technical difficulty there.
Absolutely, the use of the course was good. Trick selection right there. We have another look on that gap to lip slide. You're not just traveling across, but you have to ollie high enough to lock into that.
Tough heat to start things off with the three Japanese and Bryce Wettstein. All with a good potential of getting into that top 8. This score will be crucial. 85.65. Wettstein.
Very good.
I've got to say, with that, it's going to be through to the final.
There's Willie, her coach, looking thrilled.
Yoshizumi Sakura on that 79.70, right on the bubble. Going to need to improve to be safe.
She's got such a big bag of tricks. If she can apply a bit more power to them, she can really boost her score. Oh no.
Oh no. This could be a really difficult nervous wait for Yoshizumi. I'm not sure if this is going to be good enough to make the top 8. We will have to wait and see. Starting in Heat 1 is so tough.
This whole season has been so tough for her. She had a knee injury the first event of qualifying. She's just been battling it this whole time. Right there, she just under-rotated on that varial. Unfortunately, she's just going to see if the 79 is enough.
I'm not convinced. We've got so many great skateboarders to come. Sky Brown, Marissa True, Heat 3.
It just goes to show how fast this field is progressing. I mean, Sakura almost didn't qualify for the Olympic Games. She's our reigning gold medalist.
Yeah, so here we go. These are the scores. This is how we stick with Iraki Kokona on that 88, looking pretty comfortable. And I think you've got to say that Wettstein and Kusaki are also fairly comfortable in the 85s, but
Yosuzumi Sakura on the 79. I'm not sure if that is going to be good enough. We will have to wait and see. As we see Emily Alexandra in fifth with a 73.48, landed all three of her runs, and Julia Benedetti keeping the best to last with a 70.27.
Well. That was a delight, wasn't it? But the big story there is that the defending champion, Yosuzumi, 22-year-old from Japan, as our commentators were explaining there, we're looking at scores of above 80, and we saw there Bryce Wettstein on your screen. She really pulled it out in the final round, the American. So certainly Hiraki and Whetstone in pole position, but there are still 3 more heats to come, and a lot could change. Welcome if you are just joining us live across Discovery Plus and Max. We've got the women's park skateboarding, which is available for you live and uninterrupted. So welcome to day 11, even I'm getting confused. Day 11, yes, it's day 11 of the Olympic Games. This is live and uninterrupted coverage of the women's park skateboarding. We are 1 week down, and certainly as it stands right now, Hiraki and Wettstein, they're the 2 favoured to advance, but a lot could change, as we saw there with the final run, athletes having to pull it out the bag. So having to go deep with their tricks. Here we see the leader after 1 heat, Hiraki Kokona, the Japanese 15-year-old silver medalist 3 years ago. And certainly from what our commentators were explaining, she looks in good stead to be contesting the final. 3 more heats to come before that top 8 will decide the medals. That will be live for us across Discovery Plus and Max, uninterrupted, around about 17:30 CET. So as you can see, this is an opportunity for the skaters to show their range, their bravery, it has to be said. Lots of pressure, especially going in that first heat to deliver. They all have 3 runs, and we saw throughout the action there from all of the athletes a mixed bag of fortunes. Some absolutely nailing all 3 runs, whereas others, it was just that one solitary run that proved to be the standout performance. So we've got a lot of interesting.
Hey Scott, welcome. It's just gone afternoon here. Just gone midday.
And a lot of new names as well. Marissa True, the Australian, just 14.
I'm guessing it's morning for you.
Double gold medalist, high expectations from her. Also, a reminder that we are live and uninterrupted across all sports. So, it's great to see athletes having the opportunity to share their experiences with their loved ones. This is Bright Wettstein. I'm sure she's got, well, we saw pictures of her sister in the crowd in Paris, but those who haven't been able to make the journey, athletes were able to speak to them and get a few words of encouragement and just help. She sits second overall, with a score of 85.65. And that was a clutch delivery in their third and final run. Is it going to be enough? We'll have to wait and see. It'll be an anxious wait, especially for all those athletes in the opening heats. Whereas obviously the contrast is those who go in the final heat will know exactly what sort of scores they need to hit, but it will be a short turnaround going into the final. City of Love, and Bryce Weststein certainly showing her love for a fan base here in Paris and those back home. And it's the star-spangled banners that we can see, but Japanese strong interest, France of course, and Team GB. They've got 2 riders still to come. If you are just joining us, let's show you some of the highlights from the opening heats. So the first skater to open up the 2024 Paris Games is Arno Kazaki, 16 years of age.
Well, that's probably a good time to pause this stream or end this stream, and I'll get some lunch and I'll probably start another stream in a bit. So thanks everyone. I'll see you in a bit, some of you.
Next up, it was the silver medalist from